Okay, we're back. Last session, you guys did some deep investigation into the miasmic, found out more links to the helix and what Sin might be doing. You talked to Elias about that, and he kind of gave a forbidden dossier, sort of. I think an illegal research paper, basically, to Clara, or more like an array of research papers that, because he himself had seen this term popping up more and more and was like, well, it might be illegal, but it also seems to be important and fucking gotta learn somehow. Other than that, I mean, there was Magnus and all that sort of stuff. And I believe you guys are awaiting a combat practice with one of the S-ranked EKs, Grim, who is here on a favor to his previous student, your teacher. But as it is, we find ourselves very early Thursday morning. No one is awake in the dormitories at this hour, and yet a key slides into your dormitory door and unlocks it, and in steps an individual who locks the door behind him. It is early enough that, like, morning chorus is beginning. Like, birds are beginning to sing, and yet you wouldn't quite call it bright outside. It's like the beginnings of dawn. Figure makes its way to Caliban's door and knocks in a very, like, practiced manner, like someone who's used to knocking on a door, loud enough to only wake the person inside. Caliban, the third knock is what your brain really registers. Your, like, eyes open up and begin to adjust to the twilight of your dorm room. Looking around the space, everything seems to be normal, but it's like deathly quiet, Caliban. That last knock seems to, like, echo with the quietness, despite the fact your room doesn't really have the space for an echo. It's just so silent that it kind of lingers for a moment as it rouses you from your sleep. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna ponder, like, what's going on. And I guess just, like, sort of climb out, go over, open the door.
Opening the door, Axel is stood there. Under his arm, he has several print articles, and on the other, in his hand, he has a crystal tablet. He looks at you and says, "Sorry to wake you. Can I come inside?"
Of course.
He steps in and he hands you the crystal tablet that is open to an article that I sent you guys between these two sessions during the week. He perches somewhat on your workspace, like kind of half sat on the desk that you have, basically, and lays out a few more, like, newspapers on the table as well, as he sits there and, like, waits for you to read through it. What, if anything, is Caliban's reaction as he gets deeper into the article?
It's the article you sent me, right?
Yeah, it is.
And it's about
It's about the sword, yeah, about your retrieval and your father specifically, I would say.
particularly Bahani are just being like being a bit of a shit in this.
A bit, yep. I would say a huge. I wouldn't say a bit.
A bit of a huge of a shit.
A bit of a huge of a shit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. Does anything betray Caliban's features, or is it like the practiced noble face? Like, what if
It's
anything?
it's like the closing of the eyes, the sigh, the slight crease in the forehead, and he's just like rubbing his eyes, like,
Axel looks at you and says, "First of all, I apologize. My advice was to keep this a secret from your father, and whether you took that advice or made the decision yourself, either way, as your teacher, I have definitely guided you poorly."
it's fine. Even if I did tell, I doubt that. I doubt my father would have been very public about it.
As of yet, the school has received no notice from your father's estate that they wish to visit, nor have they called for you to visit either. I don't know whether you've received any such message.
I have not received any such message as of late.
Axel kind of like breathes in and lets out a small sigh, says, "It's very difficult to work out what your father is thinking about all of this. If he had called for you, I would have assumed that he was in some way angry or seeking answers, but as of yet, it seems to be silence from your household."
Either he can't believe it, or he trusts that I'm keeping it from the household for a good reason. The latter I want to believe.
What will you do going forward? Obviously, I have... Go on.
With that being said, I guess I'll try to break it to him as gently as I can. Well, gently, but also forthcoming.
So you will go to your father's estate?
I'll at least send him a message.
Very well. Should you need any support, either in a visit or in the message you sent, just let me know.
Trust me, I'll let you know.
This is, shall we say, everywhere, so don't let the attention get to you. I understand that might be a redundant statement for you, Caliban, but worth saying all the same.
Hey, I'm a noble. I'm used to this kind of stuff. He just gives a courteous bow to Axel.
Axel shakes his head. It's like, don't do that. He pats the desk and he says, "I purchased every newspaper that had any semblance of mention of the what's going on and highlighted the articles for you. Honestly, most of it seems to be repeats of what's in the main article of the individual that he talked to. But maybe you can find something that piques your interest within the rest of it."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He stands up straight and kind of excuses himself from your room and leaves you with the articles and the tablet. It is at this point, Caliban, you realize that you were in like bright silver silken pajamas that whole conversation.
Like He's setting down the articles at like his workbench, and then he just like looks down. He's like, oh, okay.
I imagine you with like the big like conical sleep hat as well. You know, like a Scrooge hat for some reason. I don't know why. But...
You know what? We're making that part of the fit.
so like.
Pretty sure we had already made that.
I feel like that did come up before because it's in my brain quite solidly. But yeah, Axel definitely would just ignored that, like straight eyes looking in your face the whole time, like this is serious, don't laugh, and then leaves.
He's only making eye contact, so he doesn't laugh.
Caliban, I don't know whether you'd go back to bed or whether you'd start drafting or reading or.
He'll at least like skim through like most of the articles, see what like stands out to him first, like taking like each article, like just like, gently laying them out on the workbench. He's not gonna go full Pepe Sylvia style yet.
Give me a simple, just an investigation check, I think. Just a quick one to.
Alright. I just. Give me a sec. Things. Being slow.
Of course. Is it Roll20 fighting you?
Roll20 is fighting me.
That seems right.
But I will click it.
When you get there, yeah.
Yeah.
As time progresses and Caliban, you stay up reading that. Eventually you hear other people beginning to get up. Seth's one of the earliest risers, then like Dafer and Uther. It is Thursday, it is club day. However, with it being so close to your away mission, everything's a little bit loosey-goosey right now. Like, if you wanted to do something else, this time is yours, basically.
Okay, also, which role did you need
Investigation. Investigation.
Gotcha. Investigation.
12. The only thing that stands out to you, Caliban, is all of the articles say an auction. Only the largest newspaper in the city, the Empress Herald, makes mention of Sir Mance being the individual hosting the auction. So they seem to have some other source as well that stands out to you, Caliban.
Huh. I'm guessing all of them mention the sword as well.
Yes, they all mention. Basically, it's somewhat like the article came out on Christalm, and then people have scrambled to get it into print for the morning paper, and so like some of it is like badly plagiarized, but most of the articles are redos of what was already published. Apart from the Herald, as far as you can tell, it seems like they also had a line, but it wasn't Bahanir, is what you're kind of picking up, Caliban, is like someone else at that auction, or who knew about the auction, told the Empress Herald what happened.
Gotcha. I'll make sure to keep that part in mind. It's in the back of my head. He'll just like return and just like try to get as much sleep as he could again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd eventually be woken by the usual smell of Dafer cooking and like gentle conversation in the morning. As Uther and Dafer come out, Seth would have the morning newspaper as he always does, and he will look up at like Uther and say, Caliban's in the paper. Sorry, Caliban's in the paper.
Did he finally do the shampoo ad that we all suspected he was going to do at one point?
I don't think I've ever seen Caliban wash his hair or have wet hair. He holds out the newspaper towards you, Uther.
Can I make a roll to materialize behind them?
Give me a stealth check.
Which check?
Stealth.
Oh, okay.
Oh
my god!
Seth
Yo,
holds
man.
Seth holds out the newspaper as it like goes past his like he does like the flourish where it goes past his right eye to hand it to Uther. As it passes by, you're somehow sat next to him in that like flash of motion. He like looks at you like startled, like, oh shit. Caliban, have
I'm gonna
you?
reach out and grab the paper in the confusion.
It is the article that obviously I posted that you've also read at this point. He looks at you and says, that sword that you've been carrying around, is it really ruin?
For all intents and purposes, it seems so. He like sort of like lifts like part of like his shirt to like show that the sword is like kept in like a really small dagger form at his belt.
I expected something.
Like from the kitchen, Dave for shouting. Weren't we uncertain whether that was actually ruin?
I will say I expected something fancier.
It is not in a very good state, and that's partially why I wanted to keep things under wraps.
Seems your uncle had other ideas.
Yeah, and as far as everybody concerned, that is the main reason why I've kept it under wraps. As far as everybody needs to know, I'm keeping it out of the public eye because, as far as I can tell, whoever kept this like contained has done all sorts of stuff to this. None of them good.
Seth ponders quietly as as Uther digests the article as well.
We gotta make it look like an accident for your uncle.
Alright, here, soup. What are we making look like an accident?
Hold on.
Old vegetable soup. Old vegetable soup. Don't mock it until you've tried it.
It'd be
I had
really
it.
funny if it was actually alphabet soup, and as they're stirring the... It's alphabet soup, they stir the pot, and as you look inside, it says red rum.
It's like, it's basically just gazpacho.
The universe is sending me messages. I think I need to red rum my uncle.
Yeah. I've seen some place advertise that on the menu, and I got curious. So this is me trying it out. Cool vegetable soup sounds just about the thing that I want right now.
I look inside. What kind of vegetables?
I mean, it's mostly tomatoes.
Courgette, tomatoes, stuff like that, yeah. Slowly, other people begin to filter in. I think Adhira is eventually the only person not in the room right now.
Yeah.
Adhira, you can hear the sound of people talking at a reasonable level, and it pains you deeply.
Can I roll a con save to see how bad?
You already did.
Oh, it's right.
Yeah,
You rolled a natural 1. It's bad, Adhira. You, like, open your eyes, and the soft morning light is like a flashbang as you, like, hide your eyes again.
Adhira groans and gives off, like, a soft little, like, wail of just... despair. She is going to reach out with her hand towards her nightstand, patting around as if one might be searching for an alarm clock, find a vessel, and I'm going to use my once per week to slip inside of it away from this corrupting, horrible light.
You slip inside to find Terminus sat there with a flute, and he goes, "Hi."
I think from outside, like from her room to the sides of her room, you just hear
It's like a very distant, very muffled scream from inside a lantern. And
then she comes like tumbling out onto the floor.
I think everyone hears, like, I think more than the scream, everyone hears the flump of Adhira tumbling out into her bedroom. Which, like, I think Verity kind of, like, looks up and looks around at everyone else. And there's, like, a quiet look of, like, are we gonna check on her? Like, are we gonna do anything?
I think Dafer is just gonna. Did we notice Akira coming in drunk late? Do you have any chance to notice?
I don't think so. I think Akira came in quite late, so.
Okay, Dafer gives a quick eye roll, approaches Akira's door. Yeah? Akira.
Terminus, like, slides under the small gap of Akira's door, so, like, just his head kind of pops out from underneath, looks up at you, Dafer, and says, "She's hungover. We should be quiet."
Not saying anything, Dafer just motioned, like, one moment, grabs a tray, puts in, like, 3 sandwiches, like a bowl of, like, the cold vegetable soup.
Terminus will open the door for you, and then, like, slide his hands out and, like, drag the tray into the bedroom like some small raccoon, like, retrieving snacks. Just, like, drags the tray into the room. See this little...
Isn't getting that sandwich.
He will drag it over to Adhira, but he will sit in the soup.
They're just gonna give him, like, a very pointed look and an eye roll.
He just does the thing where, like, it, like, croaks and his, like, throat expands as he looks at you from inside the gazpacho.
Rolls his eyes again, closes the door. Oh, somebody fucked up yesterday.
Will she live?
That is for her to decide. I did what I could. The rest of her life is in her hands. Alright. So, we got Caliban's uncle running PR amok, essentially. Any particular plans on putting him down, Caliban? Or do we leave this to your dad?
I think, Oh, y'all aren't kidding.
I mean, we can't physically put him down, but, like, there are ways.
I'll send a message to my father and and see what he says.
Shouldn't your dad at least have him on, like, 4 kinds of gag order for this kind of shit?
Uh-huh. I'll keep that in mind.
No, I'm just asking a question. I figured, like, after fucking up as hard as your uncle did, that he would be under express orders to not talk to anyone.
You can give me a history check if you like, Caliban.
I was gonna say, I think he might be, but yeah, I'll make a history check. Like, he's probably already under, like, several, but...
On an 8, your dad doesn't talk about it too much. You get the broad strokes. From what you can get from your mom talking about it, Caliban, your dad didn't much enjoy ostracizing your uncle, basically. Like, he wasn't keen or eager to do it, so perhaps he was a little lenient, is what comes to your mind in this moment. I think, Caliban, as well, you'd know that there are certain provisions for, like, news agents, is as long as it's in the public interest enough that they can go around a lot of that stuff. And with it being the sword of Zemes, and that, like, Empress City being the legacy of the Empire, it's like, it's enough within the public domain of interest that there's probably not much your dad can do about it. Now it's out anyway.
Oh, I'm gonna like crack open the scroll and start like drafting a message.
Seth, like, opens his hand towards the newspaper that's been passed around, just like, can I have that back? I technically haven't gotten past that article yet. I'd like to finish it.
I imagine I like turn it around and start like like look at the crossword puzzles and just like tell him like one of the words.
He calmly refers to you as a bastard.
I just hand it back to him.
Now. His parents were married.
You see Seth about to say something, he bites that back. Does anyone have anything they'd like to do that morning on the Thursday morning? Obviously, Caliban, you're writing a message.
Yeah.
I mean, we have club day today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically.
Okay.
I need complete the arduous process of navigating my way to the the workshop.
Nice and quiet, famously. Clang, clang, clang.
Her goal is to obtain a crystal of lesser restoration.
Okay.
And speak with plants.
Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw, dear.
Don't I have proficiency with these? I feel like I do.
As a
monk?
monk? I think so, yeah. Strength.
No.
Yes.
Is it
Strength and dex.
Strength and dex, that's it.
I don't use strength.
Strength is one of those funny ones that's like not useful until it's really useful. 10. Eating some food, not some soup. You feel a little bit better. Getting up and heading out. Are you in any way, how do I put it, put together to your usual degree? No, okay.
No, I think her eyeshadow is probably spreading away. It looks like black splotches of
So, Atira, the, like, panda eye, like, kind of walks out and, like, starts quietly padding through the room, making her way towards the like, dorm room doors. I guess, in some sense, Atira, so focused that you're, like, not acknowledging anyone else, or do you say anything as you go through?
No. If I say anything to them, they will respond and open their mouths, and dreaded noise will come out.
Atira, you get to the door, and it, like, opens in front of you. Mistel is stood there. She looks at you. She looks rough too, for a different reason. She didn't sleep well last night. She looks at you, like, the two of you are like weird mirrors of each other. She looks at you and says,
Before she opens, like, I see her start opening her mouth, I'm just gonna put a finger to her lips.
Wide eyes as you put your hand on her.
Gonna give her a short hug and a pat on the back that turns to sort of push her in the door as I sidestep it.
You two swap your 5-foot squares as she slides into the dorms and you slide out. And Mistle enters into the room, looking a little sleepy, but otherwise not so bad. And hear a Constitution saving throw against the light outside.
I missed the caves.
9. Light hits your eyeballs and you reflexively close your eyes and you are stood like 3 steps away from the dorm room entrance, just like pushing back a headache that is oncoming. At which point you hear voices, you hear conversation, you hear approaching like the main courtyard is like Casper and Andrus. They seem to be talking right now. You hear Casper say, apparently he's coming and he's going to fight each of our classes in turn, not at the same time. And Andrus says, that's kind of crazy, but okay. I guess maybe we should put together some sort of strategy. And you can like hear them talking as you, eyes closed, walk forward because you kind of know where the workshop is. How do you want to go about this, Atira?
I'm gonna do something creepy. I think that is the best.
Yeah?
I'm going to spend a key point and unfurl the skeletal spectral arms from me, and with a reach of 10 feet, I'm going to use them to like gently move myself forward, arms out, feeling things as I come into contact.
There are
eyes
like
closed.
there are like a few startled reactions to this, like some of the admin students that are just kind of around maybe have seen these sometimes when you're doing combat practices and things like that. Enough of a hubbub that obviously draws some attention towards you. A few moments later, you feel a give me another Constitution saving throw to begin with.
Oof.
With your eyes closed, something begins approaching you that is brighter than the sun that is out. It's like golden. And in the moment of revulsion, as you turn away, a hand lands on your shoulder and your hangover is gone.
Oh. Is that you, sweetie?
Sweetie, good morning.
Her eyes shoot open. Who have I?
No, it is Andrus. It's just
Okay.
he's like, you do not use that affectation. What the fuck's going on? You okay? Well,
Thank you.
obviously you weren't.
I
Someone tried poisoning you.
horribly. Yes, myself.
Oh.
I had drinks last night.
With who?
My teacher.
That's not helping with the Axel is a bad teacher argument that we're ongoing between various classes.
I was asked to bring him a bottle of his favorite. Oh wow, talking comes so much easier now. A bottle of his favorite whiskey, and I pushed to share it, and I shouldn't have pushed to share.
Fair enough. You look better, at least.
Thank you.
Just a heads up. Your class maybe knows, but apparently S-Rank Grim is coming for our combat practice. Your class is going last, I think, so we'll try and wear him down for you.
I appreciate it. Truthfully, I have been looking to cross blows with him
Really?
Apparently, Axel seems to think that I have some of his style.
In his head, he like mentally puts you next to each other, and he cannot think of like a bit like he's like this small grass huge guy. He like nods and says, "Well, I guess Axel would know. Student, right?"
Yeah, they have a weird sort of relationship going on. It's like estranged father and son.
Actually, maybe that explains some of his teaching methods.
Oh, Axel's very hands-off, kind of.
He shakes his head and says, "Sorry, I'm gonna go continue talking strategy with Casper. I'll catch you later."
Yes, I'll be doing gardening most of the day. If you want to stop by and just hang out, your presence is greatly appreciated.
Will do. And don't go randomly drinking very heavy and assuming that I'll be able to help. And he like gives you a hug and then walks off.
I dispel my arms and head to the main workshop.
No longer needing lesser restoration, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do speak with plants.
Okay, you can grab that.
I'll just do speak with plants. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think most of you could have seen that from the dorm room windows. It happened like 5 steps from like all of a sudden just huge like manifested spider leg like skeletal arms, and then Andrus, and then conversation that you can see from the windows of the shed area as Seth looks out and then looks back in at everyone and it kind of just says sickening, cute but sickening.
Andros is too kind to her.
Honestly, they're gonna teach her the wrong lessons.
Your boyfriend will save you from hangovers. You would need to experiment with that, Dafer, but that is within your the realm of abilities, absolutely.
Okay. For the purposes of my own imagination, because that sounds sick as fuck, having like a gazpacho is still cool like days later, I will experiment with that.
Cool.
That's gonna be my day project.
Gotcha. Luis, who's taken the newspaper from Seth after he's finished, kind of like holds it up and says, "Anyone else want this?"
Just let me skim the article so I can actually have more than just a grasping idea of what's going on. Like, I'd speed read the thing, which I assume I can do because I'll just assume that having eidetic memory comes with being able to.
Are you speed reading the newspaper, or are you speed reading the article?
The article specifically.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah. Then he throws it to you, and you
glance to the articles if there's anything interesting. But
yeah, give me an investigation check.
It need to be some either have a name that stands out to me or have an interesting title. Otherwise, I don't think I'd bother. Investigation.
15. 2 articles stand out to you. One of them is... Sorry, technically on a 15 it would be 3. There's one article about Empress Knights reducing need for artillery in the Laments Desert by 42%, which stands out to you because that's where Sky is... how do you put it? What's the word I'm looking for? Stationed? Stationed might be it. Yeah, assigned. Yeah.
Could you repeat that headline? Empress Knights doing what?
Empress Knights reduce incident need for artillery in Laments Desert by 42%. Is one of the articles. First envoys in 100 years set to head to the Centrum Empire. And Ashbringer climbs in A rank lists once again.
That bitch.
So, and like, okay, in that case, I'd give those a quick read as well before like finishing cleaning up breakfast and so on.
Yeah, the artillery article basically talks about how a large amount of military presence had built up in the Laments Desert after the fall of the Guardians, and how volunteer EKs have been working with local military to basically stem the need for munitions and shells up that way. It doesn't make mention of anyone by name, but obviously you know Sky is probably a part of that somewhere. The envoy thing, it looks like an airship is being prepped, one of the new fractal models, with a delegation to head into Centrum Empire airspace for the first time in 100 years. It has some details that talks are to be held about the automatons reawaking, and there have been some preliminary reports that this seems to be a spreading phenomenon. The automatons are waking up in various battlefields all over the world, which Dafer hits you somewhat because your town specializes in the scrapping of the important parts from inside some of these automatons, which means if one of those things wakes up near home, that's spooky. That's these things are dangerous. Yeah. And Ashbringer climbing the ranks, she's been assigned to dealing with miasmic near and around the city. So she's basically been under house arrest as far as EKs go. Grimm's in a similar situation. However, she has taken to this assignment and put a lot of effort in, and is basically reducing the need for patrols by herself quite a bit, which has made her climb back up in like the A list, like the A rank listings, after being demoted from S rank for what the article calls a political mishap.
Oh, how nice of them. A mishap.
Yes.
What was her political mishap? Do we know?
I
Yeah,
don't...
murdering my brother.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But those are the, like, there are some other things that seem interesting, but those are the three that where you're like, when it comes to names that stood out to you, Laments, Ashbringer, and Centrum, those are the three.
Check. I didn't want to take up too much time because
No.
I didn't want to get back to the club and get to organizing.
That's fine.
Like we have suffered the loss of Delphin, I think.
Mhm.
I'm not mixing up my D
It's-
name
yeah,
characters.
yeah. With you.
Right, because it's yeah, we have Delphin, Dafer, and Dylan.
Dylan, yeah.
Yeah, it's we lost Delphin, so Dafer is gonna like do his best and like, try to once again get to know like all of the corp members. Try to like if there is not as much of a like group mood to establish it and push forward the some collaboration day / shared experiment or something with the alchemy club, because he believes alchemy cooking is the future.
Technically, there is no alchemy club. There is an occult club of which one of them
Yes.
practices alchemy. But it is very funny that it will be the cooking and occult club who are technically collaborating. I find that quite an amusing setup. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you head off to go help organize that day for. Adhere is heading to gardening. Caliban's writing a letter. Uther or Clara, anything you want to do that morning?
I think I'm actually gonna, for the first time ever, cancel the Flan Club meeting because I want to read through this illegal
Oh, yeah.
research I have been
Yeah.
given.
Absolutely. You're going to spend some time with the dossier. Uther.
I think I'll spend a little time getting some sword training in.
Okay.
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think Mistel will come in, speak to you briefly about what's going on Caliban, and see that you're in a focused mood. So we'll basically just say to you, I'll leave you to it. If you need me for anything, let me know. And Clara, if you're gonna be busy, then I'll go sort Flan Club stuff for today.
I'd really appreciate that, actually.
Yeah, of course.
I would come along, but I don't want to be reading this in public.
I'd be interested to know anything that you find out, though. If that's, we do a little information exchange.
Sure, I don't mind that.
Okay. She says, I'll go sort the Drake and everything. And then she'll head on off to, like, work with the other members to get various bits and pieces done this Thursday. We'll start with Uther. Heading into the, like, training hall where people are, training with weapons specifically. It's somewhat the usual fare when you go in there. You would say this place is busier than normal. There are a lot more logistics students from the first year in here. At this point, Akira, the third year, who is kind of stated to be the strongest individual fighter of the third years, as far as you've kind of heard about Uther, has taken it upon herself to, like, put them in one space and drill them at the moment. So there's, like, one area of the hall that Akira is teaching these first year students, like, what to do with a sword and various other weapons. Beyond that, there are other students in here that are just kind of like the regular practitioners that you've seen in here before. Sigrid is also in here right now, as she changed her weapon recently. She's got that railgun greatsword, basically, that she has put together. And she's readjusting to the weighting, as far as you can see Uther, as she's kind of swinging this. She's got like a wide berth around her as she swings a great sword around in like a big spiral around her body. I don't know if there's anywhere in particular you'd like to pay attention to, or whether you're just kind of like be in your corner going through your usual drills, Uther, or...
I think I'll watch the drilling that's being done and a little bit before I go into usual training.
Absolutely. You get into your training a little while before you hear a voice. Suda, who you made a deal with to retrieve a certain box, says to you, "That's looking better."
I'm trying.
You don't sound convinced. She leans up against the wall, crosses her arms. You see her eyes go like a faint hue of like, kind of like oil spill color, this like purple iridescence, as she looks around the room at various people here, and then looks back at you. Your fellow students seem to be a little nervous.
Well, There is that big away mission coming up.
So I've heard.
If I'm not mistaken, you're our backup on that one?
No, Ashley.
Okay. They keep throwing names at us.
She laughs and says, she's my partner, so I won't blame you.
Okay, I knew there was... Okay. For the record, I have told the headmistress this is a terrible fucking idea, but...
The headmistress doesn't have bad ideas. She just doesn't let us in entirely why things are happening, I think.
Oh, no, I understand why this is happening. This is a bad idea.
Did your, gift, do anything for you? It's bloody heavy.
I apologize for that. I was told I had a package. I was not told I had the entire contents of someone's office.
I was worried I was transporting a dead body. Bloody thing looked like a sarcophagus.
No, not a dead body, just...
She tilts her head, very interested in your next words.
I hesitate to say knickknacks, because it's more than knickknacks, but it's... excessive. And a puzzle.
Couldn't help but notice the dragoon that came through the academy seemed to know you. You wouldn't happen to be in with the dragoons of Dulukop, would you?
Define in?
I don't know.
I'm not jumping off the mountain for fun, if that's what you're asking.
Maybe once. She laughs.
My uncle, not uncle, but uncle, was that particular dragoon,
I see.
which is, I don't have to explain to you how odd that is, right?
Oh, that he's here?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of a dragoon making their way outside of Dulukop. At least, not before they've retired, anyway.
Yeah, odd situation, not my place to speculate.
I assume, though, that I completed the task to such a degree that our exchange of favors means that I'm in the positive and you're in the negative at this point?
100%. I will say, given the time crunch I'm under, please be respectful of that. Little praying motion in her direction.
Actually, your time crunch and your mission might have something to do with the favor I'm after.
Oh. Okay.
She looks around and it's noisy enough in here and people are busy with their own stuff enough that she feels comfortable to talk. So she looks at you and says, "You're being supported by a certain airship, Starlight Brave, whose captain of which has become a person of interest for me."
I've done some reading on the individual.
I would like you to have the airship land so you can meet the individual in person, but more importantly, so that you can place something aboard the airship. Nothing dangerous, but something that will allow me to listen in.
Okay. Can I get more information as to why?
Give me a persuasion check.
That is the one I don't have, so... Okay.
She, says, sorry, but I didn't ask questions the other way around.
Fair enough. Alright.
She puts her hand out to shake your hand, Uther.
Yeah, I'll shake.
When your hand comes away, there is a small crystalline disc in your palm.
I will tuck that in a pocket.
I'll leave you to your training. Good luck on the mission.
We're gonna need it.
And then she walks away, leaves you there. Anything else you want to do, Uther?
Bye, shit. Pass it to the next one and come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find something between now and then.
Clara, sitting down with the dossier, are you just front to back reading? I think you like skimmed it and then went to the front before. I'm not sure if you've got like, if you're just like, okay, let's sit down and pick this apart, or whether you're looking for anything in particular.
No, I'm gonna go front to back.
Okay, give me an investigation check with advantage. 14, says the fate. Some of these documents, Clara, require like a bedrock of understanding that you as Clara are like somewhat missing. However, you're piecing together through like the repetition of certain terms how they interlink with one another. From what you can tell, getting about halfway through the document, although rereading it with like extra reference text would help you in future, basically, Clara, is what you're kind of putting it together. You discover that according to Sin researchers, or a bunch of researchers who've defected to Sin since publishing their papers, the goddess's gifts are directly grafted and enchanted onto a helix. This helix seems to be within everyone, as far as you can put together, Clara, and is essentially the record keeping for the magic of change and gifts and other things, and there are some experiments in transplanting these records from individuals. Say, for example, if someone wanted to have witch eyes, it might be possible to transplant it from you into another individual. However, it is noted in various places that there are unintended consequences. The individual might end up more like you, Clara, or take on certain aspects of you in that process. It is also noted that all living things basically have this. Humans uniquely having the, like, enchantment placed upon the helix by the goddess that seems to persist. On a 14, as you get to the halfway point in the document, the last report is that the goddess's magic is decaying, which means the enchantment on individuals is also decaying. There are some graphs in here that the incident rate of individuals with these impressive gifts is reducing, and that having a shell re-ups that, so shells in some way seem to be capacitating enough energy that it's like counteracting the reduction in the goddess's enchantment. So that's the last paper that you kind of read through, is gifts, instant rates, decaying of goddess magic, and the shell's ability to counteract it.
Anyway, let me take out a little notebook and make myself some notes for future, so I don't have to reread. And also, I suppose, so that I could potentially look up like what reference materials I think I might be missing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you sit down, you record what you think's interesting, you record what you think is confusing and maybe useful to understand in terms of different terms and terminology within there. On a 14, yeah, you're about halfway through with some good notes. I think I'll go to Caliban. What's the gist of the message you're writing to your father? How honest is Caliban being?
So the draft goes something along the lines of, my apologies for not telling you sooner, but if you had seen the condition that this sword is in, we would have kept it under wraps anyway. Needless to say, it is the sword.
Give me a straight charisma check, Caliban. 20. And you're sending that by a tablet, yeah, not like official courier. You're just sending it straight to your father's tablet.
Yeah.
Uh, 5 minutes later, you get a response. Understood. I would like to talk to you in person. The sooner, the better. And it's signed your father's name underneath.
Alright. He sort of just like relaxes in his seat because he was like tense like during those whole 5 minutes.
Another minute later, bring the blade.
Alright. And he just replies, understood.
You would also have gotten a message at some point today, Caliban, from your mum, basically saying, fuck the media, ignore them.
Great, that's great. Thank you, Mother. Good morning.
And then you get back. Good morning, love you. I hope you're having a good day. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Adhira, heading out into the garden, miraculously no longer hung over. You have your crystal, joining the gardening group, like tending to things basically at this point, Adhira. Do you want to be alone when you cast your spell, or are you waiting for someone else to be around? I don't know what you do.
Let me look at this. I'm going to go ahead and cast it in like the middle of the garden. It's imbuing plants within 30 feet of me with limited sentience and animation, giving the ability to communicate you and follow your symbol commands. Her reasoning with this is seeing if there is a way to get them what they need, like survey them.
Okay.
I don't know if they have personalities, or if, one group of plants doesn't want to be by another, if there's like plant racism going on, and but it's a curiosity that she is going to explore.
Where's
Are
the
you
fucking sun? What
getting-
is this purple bullshit?
Are you getting the tree in range?
How close is the tree? Because I don't think she would consider it, but if it's within 30 feet
If
of,
if you're heading to the middle of the garden, the tree was recently added. It's like the newest addition. It would be at the very edge of the garden. I think it would be out of range, Atira.
I don't think she would
Okay.
willingly go out of her way.
At which point,
Just yet.
you cast your spell, and the grass that you were stood on immediately complains about the fact you're stood on it.
I am going to try. I'm going to look down at him and say, "Not much I can do about that. I'm sorry. If I take off my shoes, does that help?"
Some of the grass thinks that's probably better, and another set of blades says, I would still be crushed.
I'm going to try and not walk on the grass if there is.
You,
any
like,
way to do
start tiptoeing along the grass sections of the lawn, just randomly, as other people stride casually across the lawn, and you hear the grass go, ah, fuck, ah! You come closer to a flower bed of, like, sunflowers, who are all looking up at the purple light. There is one sunflower that is taller than the rest, and the other sunflowers, like, slightly underneath that are, like, gossiping about the fact that they're a sun hog and, like, other things like that. You hear some of the, like, wilder garden sections seem to be getting along a lot better. Like, some of the area that's just, like, left to grow and not arranged in neat orders and stuff like that is just, like, talking about the day, talking about seeing some weird shit recently, like a guy in full armor and things, like, just gossiping about what's going on in the academy in one section. But yeah, the flower beds are petty.
This is not what I expected. She is going to go around and introduce herself to these flowers and ask them if they would need anything reasonable.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. .2.
Some of them reasonably request, like, to be watered in, like, different patches of soil. One of the plants is, like, as far as you can tell, agoraphobic and would like to be repotted and placed inside somewhere. There is a set of vegetables that are being grown that complain about the fact that there seems to be some sort of ant colony or something like that that's beginning to eat them from underneath, so that would be nice if they weren't consumed from the depths below. Yeah.
I will try and replant the one flower inside, and Ashlyn's in gardening, correct?
Yeah, she is, yeah. She's nearby, like, big old floppy sun hat on, but still full military goth gear. Like,
Over here. Ashlyn, I have a curiosity.
I don't know if you're saying that right, but yes.
Have you ever tried using Speak with Plants? The spell?
She looks at you and says, once.
Uh-huh.
She suddenly remembers and, like, shifts and gets off the grass slightly. Like, some, like, ancient memory gets triggered. She's like, oh, shit. Like, moves.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call this a mistake, but it's definitely not what I expected.
It gets better with time.
They say that there's an ant colony underneath them. I don't know if we can do anything about that, or...
She thinks and says, I can... Actually, I can't. Seth could.
How so? You pause there.
You're pretty close with my brother, right?
Yes.
Seth can can turn into a fine powder that is capable of exploring and mapping out the nest so that we might isolate or otherwise cut it off. We can drive wooden planks in where they've dug their tunnels, things like that. Need to know where, or we could just box off the area in general, but there's no guarantee that we get all of it that way.
Feels like a very... Maybe I don't know him as much, but it feels a bit much to ask somebody to go exploring an ant colony. Is that painful for him, dude? He's not gonna come out with like ants in his mouth, will he?
Give me a persuasion check.
I just got a mental image.
9. She says, actually, I think technically it'd be more like a break.
A what?
Break.
A break.
Oh. Is he obsessing again?
Oh, probably, but I don't want to talk about my brother's stuff. It's his to share if he wants
No.
to.
That's fair. I'll go get him.
It's probably in the art room.
She's going to head out, and I believe she'll pass by the tree at that time.
Is it a radius from you at that point? Or is it the area you cast it on? Just double check.
Area you cast it. You imbue plants within 30 feet of
Okay.
you.
So it wouldn't, like, as you walk past, you wouldn't clip it with a radius of, like, an ongoing effect or anything.
Correct.
Heading up to the art room, you find Seth working with a set of charcoals. There's, like, a big, tall portrait piece that he's doing. And it looks to be the view out of, like, if you were stood in the door of Delphin's hospital room, it would be like the windows and the bed. But it's, like, impossibly tall. So as it reaches the point, the perspective of the top of the hospital room would get to, it, like, roils up into a dreamscape of what he thinks Delphin might be dreaming of. So there's, like, this charcoal smoke version of, like, a loaf of bread and, like, other things that, like, what he imagines Delphin's life in this inert state to be like, as it's, like, really strangely moody because of the charcoal, but because it's Delphin, all the stuff at the top of the image is actually, like, strangely light-hearted and jovial. His, like, fingers absolutely stained with this chalk, this like charcoal that he's using to make the image. But eventually he would, like, notice you, Tira, and put a piece down and turn to look at you and, like, dust his hands off and say, Tira, don't often see you here.
Yes, I was just talking with your sister. We're gardening, and I have made the decision to speak with the plants. They say that there's an ant colony, and Aishlin said you might be able to help.
He looks at the image that's like mostly finished at this point, and then laughs and says, yeah, I'll come with you. And then he like stands up and starts walking with you and says, I used to do stupid stuff like that when we were younger. I hid in a sand pit once, disguised. Yeah, it's done. He's like walking with you as he goes.
When I was in the room, what did the dreamscape look like?
It looked like a kitchen. It looked like a gym with him showing off, like doing hanging sit-ups from like a pole. Like it's just images of like Delphin going clothes shopping and it being only a store of like shirts with no buttons and like just like stupid little like bubbling up vignettes of the weird idiosyncrasies that Delphin has.
So more grounded in reality than like tightrope walking between two planes or something like that.
Yeah. It's less liminal than more like who he is and what he hopes Delphin still gets to do even though he can't move.
I have a personal question about that, actually.
About?
It doesn't hurt, does it?
Changing forms?
Yeah, like you're not gonna come out of a sand pile with like mouthful of sand, are you?
Honestly, it hurts more to be like this.
She thinks on that. That's reminds her of a spirit. Because when I saw Terminus, true Terminus, he was just formless, ever changing. There was no like solid concept. It was.
You're definitely corrected here. Spirits dislike being in permanence. He heads down to the garden with you, says hey to his sister, and says, you need me mapping tunnels? Ashton says, small ones. Alright. And then he literally just like, you know, like the Thanos snap, just whoosh, but like black ash-like powder ends up drifting down and scattering over the floor and then channeling itself into different pores in the ground. It disappears.
That's always crazy to watch.
You're telling me? There was no such thing as locking a door from a brother who can go through a keyhole.
Does he sleep as the sand?
I think he can do either. My guess is it's more comfortable to do it the way you suggested.
I feel for him.
Don't let him hear that.
That's why I'm keeping my voice low. He's... Never mind. It'd be a poor form to talk about him while he's right here.
Probably. How are you settling into the club? Yeah. The new project looks great.
It's been a godsend, actually. I don't always come by, but when I do, it's enough of a little reminder of home. Something take my mind off of the mission of Andres, of Terminus, and just work with the garden like when I was a girl.
She looks at you. Off of Andres? It must be tough having a considerate, caring, and attractive boyfriend.
It's... Yes, so tough. He cured me of my hangover this morning. Oh.
My lobster is too buttery.
Steak, dude, I've never had lobster.
Too slow, Doper. But
I worry about him.
Worry about him?
Yes, I worry about the prophecy. I worry about what he gives up and what that makes me would be willing to do to spare him from that.
She thinks about it for a second and then says to you, we're all sacrificing something to be here, Tyria.
Some more than others.
I guess that's true. At which point you guys are interrupted by like a half-manifested torso, pair of arms, and the head of Seth, where his legs are like still somewhere underground as far as you tell here, and he like points out where the ants are like tunneling in from.
Well, I'll go get the orange oil.
And then he zooms up and like returns to full form. Says, "I'm gonna go finish my drawing."
Thank you.
Not a problem. Catch you around. Good to see you, sis. And then, yeah, you spread some stuff that ants do not like being around, and Ashlyn like puts in some wooden boards to like physically block off sections as well, and sort of like entrench the vegetable garden from outside threats.
I would like to point out with a spell, looking over it again, I am halfway animating them. Plants might be able to perform other tasks on your behalf.
Oh my god.
Spell doesn't enable plants to uproot themselves and move about.
Okay.
They can freely move branches, tendrils, and stalks.
I think you would see the onion patch where the ants had gotten in have like shimmied a good foot in the last like 10 minutes, like through the dirt in order to like get further along. The grass, anytime someone's gonna step, like flattens itself, just like bends, and it's like it hurts less if it's not like head like on the top. Like the plants are just acting weirdly. A few people have definitely gotten on. Like one person's watering this one flower that keeps leaning slowly out of the like. It's just like, no, I'm good. I'm done. Like just like drifting.
Maybe we should. I was about to suggest something very dumb and reckless. What if we found a way to make this permanent, in a sense? Maybe not with the grass, but give the plants a way to communicate with us easier, and not require a crystal all the time.
Ashlyn looks at you and says, "Rune work? I don't know, there's something about carving runes into a plant to let it talk to me that makes me think it would just say, please stop cutting me."
Maybe we could use runes to create a field with what's the word when something passes from one to another and that continues a cycle. Relay.
Ashlyn says, "Sorry, I mostly work with Crystal. What about your you've got your frog in your lantern, right? Maybe they're a nature spirit, surely."
Yes, and the good Lord of Rotten Decay is a very knowledgeable one, but and she kind of leans forward and puts her hand over the top of the jar as if covering the ears of a child. I can't help but get the sense he would turn it into a prank of some sort. I'll ask him later.
We can only try.
Terminus would be the one to like give plants sentience, but then also teach them how to say slurs.
Like, all the grass is sentient, but it's also like blades of grass are actually sharp. Like, someone goes to step and it just like goes straight through like 100 blades of grass to the foot.
Nightmare. Yeah,
so there's this movie called Aeon Flux.
I guess I think I did see that in something.
He keeps on suggesting that we get this crystal for a spell called Blade Barrier. I don't know why.
Dafer, working with the cooking club and the occult club, getting the first sort of like coordination together for that, is your idea to have everyone sort of working in a similar minor enchantments on food bandwidth as you're sort of pushing into Dafer, or was there something else in mind that you sort of had for that?
I think the initial thing, like the goal would be to just have potential, like all sorts of projects where maybe occult can overlap with food. This entire alchemy mixing into food would be this like the springboard project, like as a first example, and like how
Gotcha.
we can get to know each other and so on. But like if people, like the idea would be that if people like have other fascinating crossover ideas, I can't think of anything myself.
No, it's fine.
Not in the seat. But
as you have members of the occult club coming in, one of which is Umi, who obviously is by far the most knowledgeable in the area that you would like to cross over, but also by far the most problematic of any of the individuals in the room in terms of things getting done. How would you like to, as Dafer, try and like smooth out the situation, be it like acting as an interpreter, so like Umi says something off the wall and you who spent some time with her kind of translates into something more in line with what the cooking club might be, or doing it by logistics, or trying to find something interesting enough that like that however you want to try and like smooth over this first introduction, how would you like to do that?
I mean, what do I know on like what Umi hyper focuses on?
Curses. Cursing people with inconveniences. She's the kind of person who would make a donut that would make sure that anytime you ate something hot, it would burn the roof of your mouth for like the next week.
I think Aoife would like try to grab her attention with like how, like he already has this project in his mind of like the long cold gazpacho, and like tries to use that as a how to like grab her attention and like show the others like how they can deal with her in the sense of like, look here, imagine vegetable soup. Imagine how terrible it would be if that soup was cold. I mean, if you want soup, you want it to be warm, right?
Give me an Arcana check, and then off the back of that, I will give you a Deception check, either at advantage, disadvantage, or neutral.
Okay.
I think the DC we're looking for is 15 here for neutral. Oh no. A Deception check at advantage. Sorry, disadvantage. 8.
Disadvantage.
I think you get the impression Umi knows what gazpacho is. At the moment you're like, wouldn't it be awful? She looks at it, she's like, this is gazpacho. It's like, what happens in the end is you manage to get her interested, But by the end of it, the cooking club has, with Umi, managed to make a batch of soup that if you ate it, would give you a minor cold. Like the sniffles, basically.
Okay, but I mean that's still a starting point. Like with that, people can like try to transfer that into not getting a sickness for like taste properties.
I think you have a few people of the cooking club like sat there like, what are we doing? But a few people are like, hang on. If we can do this, like there are like a few people are like on board with you, Dave, and a few people are like, I tried my own soup because I taste everything, and now I can't taste anything because my nose is blocked. Like,
I mean, the main worry I would have are like, are any of them worryingly close to like, I can take out my targets with this?
no, you don't see anyone who has taken the like, maybe I can make a soup so cursed, like heavy, that it kills someone. Yeah, no one sat there thinking about that.
But now they can actually make soup that causes you to, I don't know, always have your tomato sauce be slightly too salty.
Yes, definitely.
Which is far greater on evil.
So yeah, I think Dayfair, by the end of your like club activities for the day, probably closing out somewhere around like 3 or 5 p.m. You know, like somewhere in that bound. You've got it was a mixed first impression, but you feel like it can only get easier from here now that people are they know what they're in for. Is the way I would describe it. I think at this point, we'll move forward so everyone's about 5 p.m.-ish in the day. So like you've had the early part of your day, Adhira gardening, Clara doing research, David doing cooking stuff, Uther training, and Caliban, after you wrote your message, what would you have done? Would you have gone straight to your dad's, or would you leave it a little bit?
Probably inform everybody.
Okay. Assumingly sending it to like the Kristan group chat that you were gonna head to your dad's estate.
I probably would have like screenshotted the conversation.
Okay.
At least the important or relevant bits, and then just like sent it to the group chat, and just saying like, hey, just letting y'all know.
Chat message underneath.
I think that cut out for me, Dave. Sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh yeah, because my headset just gave me a low battery warning.
Gotcha.
Dafer immediately writing underneath one backup.
I mean, if you want to come.
If you don't mind me having a slightly blocked nose.
I'm sure my parents will not mind.
I'll grab like 3 packs of tissue paper.
I can already
And
imagine, like, I can already imagine Caliban's mother already just like coming up with a cure.
I think your mom is a definite like lemon and honey person because she sings. So
Yeah, she has the herbal remedies.
absolutely,
prepared.
yeah. She's like, oh no, a cold before operatic performance. Hit me with every herb you've got.
It'll be fine. Just give me a bit.
Does anyone else want to go with Caliban to the estate? I think Clara, you're the only person who's never gone. Quite pointedly, I suppose.
And I will continue to.
You continue to not go? Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else want to go? Or is it just Caliban and Dave? Okay. Caliban and Dave. Sorry, was that you do want to go, Uther, or you're good?
I can if they want more people to go. Otherwise, it's fine.
Seems like Caliban's in a you can come if you want to, as opposed to a I require assistance mood.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. All right, Uther, Dafer, and Caliban heading off, leaving Clara and Adhira here at the academy. Is there anything the two of you want to do with your evening? Whether Clara's going to stay in the books or not, I don't know. You certainly can if you want to.
Unless there is a significantly better option, I think she would just stay working on deciphering this.
I think Mistle would join you if you're okay with that at that point, Clara. She's finished up clubs,
Yeah,
so
that'd
she'll
be fine.
come and sit with you. Adhira, what about you?
I'll probably hang out in the Witch's Nook
Okay.
and catch up with Vera now that I know that she apparently wants to kill someone. But also to reaffirm that we are going to be heading out this weekend.
We'll start with that. Heading into the Witch's Nook, at 5, it's a very different energy from any of the other times you've been here. The library isn't really doing anything at all at this point, but there's still the cafe attached to it, and there are a few people that come here just to read in the cafe to soak up the atmosphere. At which point, Vera is the only actual member of staff apart from the cafe workers. So as you walk in, she looks up from the desk with a stack of books that she's just checking back in that people have dropped off. Looks at you and says, "You're a little early."
Yeah, well, I've gotten gardening done for the day. I've finished the project I've been working on for a while, so just gonna treat myself with some books and thought I'd swing by. Also, just want to make sure we're still good for Saturday.
Saturday is good with me.
Do you
Is it-
have a...
Sorry?
Go on.
Oh,
I was
just
gonna say, do you have
the two of you awkwardly stare over each other.
I gesture for her.
She says, "Just the two of us? I don't know if you invited anyone else."
Not yet. I feel like it'd be a great little girls' night out. Clara isn't for this sort of thing.
I think you'd be surprised. She gives me the sneak out at night sort of vibe.
True, but that feels more like I'm gonna go climb multiple trees, not I want to go...
Multiple
kind
trees?
of vibe. Yes.
I don't think you understand how big those trees are, Tyr.
I don't think you understand how good Clara is at climbing.
That might be true. Okay, I'm fine with just the two of us. I just wanted to check.
Do you have a spot picked out?
I have an area picked out. We'll stay a night too. We won't go too far. Don't worry, I won't kidnap you and take you abroad.
Only if you take me back to Lament.
Too warm for me. Too warm.
And here's going to go pick out a book to read and find some place where she can sit and watch Vera.
Uh-huh.
And when Vera goes back to, paperwork or checking up on stuff, I'm going to activate my visage. So
Okay.
the eyes are going to turn green. And I'm just going to try and watch her for the rest of the night and ponder, from what I have been told from the group parameters, who is it that she wants killed?
So, are you more concerned that you do not get seen doing this? So, are you being more stealthy? Or are you being more, I assume it's insightful. So, which of those two is the priority for you?
I'll be stealthy, and I think the trade-off for that will be Adhere's gonna get carried away on a trait of Vera's, an aspect, and that's going to be her scars.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and ponder those.
First of all, give me a stealth check at advantage. And now give me an insight, a perception, or a medicine check at straight roll. Looking at the scars, the ones that are like more openly displayed have been added to in a way that makes it seem decorative, right? Like she's almost got like a choker like tattoo over the top of the scar, but the scar tissue you can tell because it's like slightly raised and it's got that stretch sort of sheen to it. In the other ones, the ones that are more hidden, that like when she moves or when she like rubs her shoulder, the shirt comes up slightly that shows there like more. You realize that these scars are all at the intersection of like where the hand attaches to the wrist, where the elbow attaches to the upper arm. It goes around her shoulder where the arm attaches to the shoulder, the neck where it attaches to the head, like, and you can see ankle and knee as well. On a 20 insight, Adhira, you begin to realize that her right arm and her left arm are slightly different lengths, and the you would say Vera has been assembled.
So what I'm hearing, DM, is not only did you give us a vampire, a werewolf, a Van Helsing, you have also given us the creature.
It would seem to be, as some people would say, a Frankenstein-like configuration, yes.
She wants to kill her creator. Is Adhira's thought that she's going to buzz in her own head.
As you're sat there, as she's working, at a certain point she glances over you and like notices you looking at her quite intently. She didn't do anything about it. Later on, she goes into the cafe to buy herself a drink, but she buys a drink for you as well, brings it over and sits down with you, and sits you and says, quite the gaze you have there.
I was trying not to be obvious. Apologies.
It's fine, I didn't know if you felt that way about me.
No, nothing of that sort. She sort of half stammers out. I was just looking.
I suppose that doesn't preclude liking me.
Oh no, I do like you, just I have a boyfriend.
I know.
Sam, you got me dry swallowing. And here we'll take a sip of the drink.
She sips hers as well and says, sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I just didn't know how to interpret such a look.
You think on this? Do you usually get, admirers?
Oh, now and then. But not from individuals that I myself am interested in, usually.
What kind of person are you interested in?
She leans her head, she thinks, she says, talented, agile, cute, maybe from afar.
That certainly narrows it down. Not a large amount.
I have to say, the fact that you're a shell user does also intrigue me.
Well, it's nice. It has its perks, but
So I've heard.
I believe the idiom that they use in common is burning a candle at both ends.
She sits back and says, all the more reason to live life to the full. But I can tell that I'm wasting my time.
Even if you think that, I wouldn't trade your company for much else.
No, I'm certainly happy with the friendship.
Could I have an idea. I have a horrible, rotten idea. Adhera is going to use this as an opening.
Mm-hmm.
Could I perhaps ask you something personal?
I would be delighted.
It's about your scars.
I imagine one would notice those if you were looking as closely as you were. Yes, what about them?
Adhera is going to reach out and sort of take Vera's hand and unfurl the palm.
Mm-hmm.
And are her hands intact, or like are there rings around the fingers?
There are rings around the fingers, yeah.
Scars tell a story, and I've been wondering about what your story might be. I'm going to trace the connecting point of her wrist with my finger.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything particular you're doing with that, or is it simply exploratory?
Exploratory.
Okay. Are you trying to fluster her, to throw her off in this moment, is my other question. I get that sort of energy, but I want to double check.
I would say flustering her to throw her off is probably the closest approximation. In my head, it is making the most of our connection.
I think a performance check is what I'd ask for here.
I do have visage up, but I think that's only for persuasion, so yeah, performance.
I'll allow it in this moment with advantage. Didn't need it anyway, but
Didn't need it.
21. There is a moment where you can see the confusion of the mixed message here at Hera, where you go from absolutely not to like vaguely flirty all of a sudden, but it softens, and she says, my scars are a physical memory of a past life I've left behind. I struggled to deal with an event in my past, and the pain I went through is best represented physically at the time. I realize now that that was immature of me. But at the same time, I wouldn't change myself. I'm very content with how things have gone for me.
Does her explanation ring true, or does this feel...
Give me an insight check.
Yeah. Oh, this is an advantage with the visage.
Misdirection, Atira. Absolutely not. She's using like a story that might shock or make someone sympathetic towards her in order to ward off your suspicions. Absolutely.
I can tell it's must have been painful, and I know you probably don't want to open up about it fully. But
On a 22, I'll give you one more thing. With all lies, if someone's doing it right, they bury some amount of truth in there. On a 22, when she refers to an event in her past, there is a truthful connection there, and in that moment, having talked to a lot of people who have been around death, had loved ones pass away, things like that, you see some flicker of that in her expression, but it is different to what you're expecting. In fact, I would say, if not for the fact you had seen a similar expression recently, you wouldn't be able to piece it together. What do you want to say? Atira? Oh, you're being pulled away. Oh, they've deafened. Oh no. Spilling the tea. Spilling the tea and pulled away.
sorry about that.
No worries. What's the last thing you
if
heard?
I had not seen that before...
Like, very recently, you would not be able to place this. But when Sir Mance talked about his own death, she has the same look on her face when she talks about an event in her past.
Must have been pretty traumatic.
It was, but long enough ago now that feels like it happened to somebody else. Like I remember it, but the emotional attachment is gone. That's why I don't try and hide them. To me, it's just decoration.
They make up who you are.
Give me a deception check in this moment.
I knew I couldn't get away with that.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Can I make an insight check?
Yes, you can. You do have advantage still from Visage. Yeah.
Do.
She knows. She knows that you know.
I am going to drop pretense and I'm going to speak directly in her mind.
Okay.
Just softly. You are safe with me. And I'm going to squeeze her hand, and hopefully she doesn't try and kill me.
Can she reply psychically to you, or does she need to speak
Yes.
out loud? She can. Oh, I need a persuasion check, Atira.
Wait, let me check Astrovision. I think that does give me advantage too. Wow, this is so great.
This is good. I'm
have
glad
to
you
go
popped it.
Yeah. You have advantage on wisdom and intimidation checks?
Oh, no.
Ugh.
Persuasion
I'm trying to
is
be
straight.
intimidating. Yeah. Okay.
20 is good enough. The conversation continues in your mind at this point. She says, I am sorry for what my subordinate did to you in the north.
What? And Hera's head tilts slightly. The one with the rapid-firing golden gun?
That would be the one.
This is a bit awkward.
Our work is widespread. Checking in with one another is not easy. When I learned of what happened, I had him... We talked.
Indira, I won't try and hide a small amount of satisfaction with that, but I think my anger sort of comes from being completely outgunned in that situation. He was doing a job.
Stryker is gifted in a single line of work. For that, he is useful. Adhira, you come from a place of which this city quite clearly has its sights on. You go to an academy that this city quite clearly does not have love for. Every student in that academy has a future ahead of them that would be better placed serving the city and not those who sit atop it. I hope you agree with me.
I do.
This is... I'm so glad. I have been trying my best to gauge the interest of the students in your academy, be it your class or others, and it has been an uncertain time for me as to whether the message of the Paladins has been well received or not.
There's... I say with how we see them. I believe the term that they coined among some of the others was renegades, desperados. But
Go on.
I can't speak for politics, clearly. I am, as you said, from someplace far away, in a new place that does not have much love for where I am. But I know the most important thing that needs to happen. An inevitability is change in one form or another.
She looks at you and says, change is not comfortable. Change comes with pain. And I will tell you, Adhira, I intend to inflict pain upon this city.
What's the end goal? The judges?
We can kill one of them, 5, 10, 100. There are more waiting in the wings to replace them. The only way to motivate the people to change things is to make it so uncomfortable they cannot sit in fetid waters anymore. I will provoke an uprising, but I will do it by twisting the arm of this city until the bottom rises up and the top shows its true colors that the bottom can no longer ignore.
From Adhira's own mental link with the urn, how absolutely thrilled is Terminus right now?
You get the impression from Terminus that right now he's your Han Solo with a gun under a table. Like, he's sat there with, like, the biggest spell he can, ready to fire it if for some reason the two of you come to disagreement. So right now, he doesn't give you anything other than, like, I'm holding this trigger and I am waiting.
I, truthfully, in this moment, the sentiment that passes through Adhira as she relays to him is, I really love you right now. Adhira will do her best. This is a lot to take in.
We can talk more on Saturday, if you're still willing to have fun.
Of course. I can't promise you anything, but you are my friend, and I will hear you out. And maybe my best action for now is inaction.
Insight check.
16.
I will roll in front of the board. She has a plus 10.
To deception?
You can tell through the connection that there is a gut reaction to what you just imparted, but from everything else about them, you would not be able to tell that whatsoever, Atira. After that initial reaction, the thoughts coming back says, caution is a good protective measure. Like I said, we can talk more on Saturday.
I don't want to give any pretense of stagnation. With what I'm connected with, I do plan to act and make my choice sooner or later.
When you are ready to act, there is a task that you can do that will help us. But I will not impress it upon you before I know that you are ready. She lifts up her cup, sips it, and then says out loud to you, "It's getting cold. We can't just stare in each other's eyes all evening, pretty as they are." And she stands up, leaves her empty cup, and heads back to continue her work at the library desk.
I'm going to finish my cup, check out a book, and leave.
Okay. Clara, you and Mistel, what does it look like now that you've, like, spent a day with this dossier? Are you, like, in your room, I presume? Is it, like, pinned to the wall, or what's the...
I don't think I'm quite at red string yet.
So, like, just kind of spread out over the desk. Mistel has gone into Caliban's room and stolen his desk chair because, you know, she's not there, and, like, moved it into your room to sit next to you. I think she's interested in, like, reading through your notes right now. Otherwise, yeah, give me another investigation check with advantage.
First thing. Oh,
Nice.
way better.
Way better. I think Mistle reads through your notes and says, actually, I think the most useful I can be is to pop to the library and grab some of these reference texts. I'll be right back. And then she disappears from you and goes to grab some texts, which she comes back with and like lays them out on the table. With that, as you're working through it, Clara, you have a decent understanding of what DNA is at this point. Although in this world we refer to it as the helix of an individual or a creature, all living things have it. It seems to determine everything about the physical makeup of someone. You also have an understanding of, as far as you can tell from what these Sin researchers have put together, is that the goddess chose the helix for her spell because it is the basic building block that exists and will always exist within a living organism. So all enchantments are bound to that. And there's some stuff done. So like DNA testing has been figured out by Sin researchers so that you can like work out whether people are related or how related they are. I think more than that as well. You're able to figure out the entities like spirits and things like that don't have this. It seems to be a basic building block. And it predates the goddess. So like early iconography has the helix in it with the goddess, which she later then abandons. The reason for that was... from what you can work out from the syntax, is the goddess was not pleased that people were starting to think like her children, however you want to put it, were taking it that she actually created this thing, even though like for her, she put these icons out there because from the goddess's point of view, she was like, well, my magic is encoded in this. This is my legacy to you, no matter what happens. But it's being misinterpreted, and she ended up not liking that, and essentially asked for her followers from that point on to remove the icon from various statues and other things. On a natural 20, Clara, I don't know if there's anything else you'd want to try, what you'd want to know at this point. If there's like a singular question that comes to mind that maybe I might be able to answer. Or maybe you just wonder, like, exactly how much of a modern understanding of DNA Clara has at this point, I guess.
Yeah, there probably is, like, more useful questions that I should be asking. But for me personally, as someone with a fairly robust understanding of DNA, it would be more helpful for me to know exactly what how modern I should be talking.
I think we're not at the point where like Clara would not be talking about like amino acids and like protein chains and things like that. The helix is understood as like if you think we thought of atoms as the lowest base object, like that's what the helix is here for life as far as Sin researchers is. Like the helix isn't made of anything, it just is this thing that is the smallest possible piece of a living organism. That's kind of where they're at, so they're not thinking about RNA or anything else like that. But all the stuff about diseases being passed down, recessive and dominant genes, like all of these things are understood. If that...
I was going to say, they mentioned being able to, like, DNA test.
Yes.
So I assume that we've got as far, at least for them to know, like, what a gene is.
Yes.
Even if they don't call it by that name.
Yeah, they would call it just a partition of a helix or a branch of a helix. All of that stuff seems to be being done with modified versions of divination spells. So it's like a very... they really don't understand the, like, minutia of it, but they've jury-rigged a way to do it with magic, basically, is how it's working at this point for them.
That, yeah, makes some sort of sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that stands out to you as being weird or confusing at any point about how it's all put together, you can just tell me and we'll hash it out. But yeah, I think sat there with Mistel using these various texts, the two of you puzzle this out together, basically. As Mistel sits there looking at her hand right now, like, just thinking about this kind of weirds her out slightly, you can tell.
Well, that's certainly news.
This means what about me wasn't this she's like sat there thinking about free will at this point, like.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily the direction we go in, but it does mean that, I suppose, prior to the moment of us being born, some parts of who we would become were in fact preordained.
I mean, there are prophecies, right? I knew that. It just feels different when it's so localized to me.
I don't know, it feels kind of cool.
Cool? I mean, it's interesting. I won't.
Well, in theory, this means that contained within each individual we know is something uniquely special. Except maybe twins. Maybe twins are different.
Oh, more accurately, the same.
Well, oh yeah, I guess so. It's just strange to think about. Do you have any special thing?
Oh, like an ability thing, like Akira? No, nothing for me. Not even with a shell.
What if you do and we just don't know what it is?
I mean, maybe. This seems to imply that the goddess gave it to everyone. And all of the Zogan jungle people, they all have their adaptation ability as to where they spend their childhood. Their bodies modify and... Wait. You see her, like, sort of put together the fact that, like, I don't think in this helix just records who we are, but, like, maybe a record of everything we have been. The people from the Zogan jungles can only manifest certain animal traits, other living creature traits.
Too much of a coincidence, don't you think?
I do. What I don't understand is what this has to do with the miasmic. Why do all these researchers who get into the field of Helix, I mean, sure, they probably touch upon some taboo topics to do with the goddess, and then they're ostracized and they leave, and Sin picks them up. But I don't know, it feels... Sin is interested in miasmic creatures, shells.
What, are you wondering what particularly about them?
I'm just... It feels like... The miasmic are a creation of the Scourge. So they don't have a helix. Only living creatures, only things that were here before the goddess arrived have a helix, right? So,
That's what it implies.
so why does helix research lead people to miasmic creatures?
Maybe specifically because they don't have one. Maybe if you could... It sounds strange to say induce one, but if you could give them the same thing that everyone else has, perhaps they wouldn't be miasmic anymore. Or perhaps they were once people whose helix have malfunctioned. When I was looking at them, it's a little uncomfortable, but they all seem to have this internal concept of what a person, a living thing, looks like. It all seems to be this same generic man figure. I think perhaps they were or could be something more akin to a living creature, and that maybe somewhere along the line something just went wrong.
If they're all the same person inside, does that mean all the miasmic are like twins?
I guess so. It would make sense, right? Because they all kind of communicate with each other.
And they certainly organize themselves somehow. So maybe either miasmic are a blank slate that you can put a helix onto, or there is some kind of corruption of a helix within them. How would we...
I don't know. Surely they must be somewhat related. I mean, both of those would be reasonable, but the shell barriers, it's kind of written here that they interact with the individual's helix. They're what helps us to empower them to levels... I can't really tell if this is going along the lines of back to normal or just... I don't know.
I get the impression it's like, as we are, everyone's a big, I don't know, like a big bowl with a little bit of water in it. But shells stop the water from running out so it fills up properly. This is all hard for me to visualize.
Maybe that's what we need. We need to build a model.
I think I need a
this
nice
is
shape.
Well, that too. I'm just, wondering for the future. I mean, we need to get through a whole mission first, and possibly being beaten up by Grimm one after another. But
Looking forward to that.
this is a little bit bigger than any of us individually, I think.
I mean, if this is our paper for next year, I think we'll win.
God damn it, why couldn't I have come up with this year?
You're telling me. Or maybe it would get us excommunicated from the city. Either way, I'm actually not too bothered.
What are they gonna do, send me back home?
Well, please don't do that to me, but at least I can just go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. You come home with me, or go home with Caliban, maybe.
Well, I think that would be hard if I can't go to the city, but maybe I can convince Caliban to forsake his noble lineage. I think that would be romantic.
Maybe if he gets a job doing hair care commercials.
I don't know if I've ever seen him use hair care products. You missed them.
Hi, this is out of character Caliban. They In another world where he lives amongst the common people, he's doing hair care products, but he's not actually ever using the hair care.
Yeah.
He's just there for the commercials.
You're like, yeah, you're that celebrity who's like, this de-aging cream works. This person had a facelift. Like,
It's a little bit different where it's like,
Yes.
oh, do you want your skin to look flawless? I was born from an angel.
that's true. Maybe he was born with it. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Fuck you.
Speaking of which, we will cut across the city. Caliban, Uther, Daver taking the train that runs underneath the lake and into the like proper Lake District area, getting off at the station that's not far from your home, Caliban. It has been a while since we were here, and yet the stone structure, grounds, garden, hedges, and walls of your home have not changed in the last 1,000 years or so. Lights are on the outside, and on the inside you can see the orange warmth of lit fires and candles and torches, as your home does not feature crystal wiring or artificial lights in any way. Smoke billows up from chimneys that probably should have transmutation fields on them, but your family can get away with a little bit of soot and smog. That's not a problem. The gate to your home opens on your approach as two guards slide the doors away. You have ruin on your person, yes.
Yes.
Heading into the lobby, Uther and Dafer, the staff there ask that you go into a waiting room off to one side. Caliban, you are not told to do anything whatsoever. This is your home. They absolutely cannot command you to do shit all, Caliban. So they ask your friends to go into the waiting room, and they welcome you graciously back home, Master Caliban. I don't know whether you would go with your friends to the waiting room, Caliban, or whether you would go to your room or stroll about the grounds, but you're told that your father will call for you soon.
I think I'll just have like a look around the place, like get refamiliarized. Like I'm sure he knows the place in and out. Again.
Yes.
Like.
Caliban, would you like to use any of the secret passages within your home?
Do any of the secret passages lead to his father?
There are no secret passages to lead to, how do I put it? The main office of your father, but there are studies that you could drop by if you wanted to, on the off chance he's in one of those other studies.
Actually, I think I'm not going to give them a tour of the secret passage, but I could probably request to have Uther and Dafer just like be given a tour of the place, just like walk with me or be escorted.
Ooh, give me a persuasion check, Caliban, with advantage on the staff here. 16. A pained expression on the butler as he looks at Caliban and says, I'm afraid your father's instructions was that your friends were to wait in the waiting room, and not to wander.
Very well. I'll wait there in the waiting room, I guess.
My apologies. Bows very, very low, Caliban. Perhaps a drink, though. You are all of age now. Perhaps the master would like a glass of wine.
Of course.
And for your companions?
I look to I look to Uther and Dafer, like, hey, you guys want anything?
Tea? Wine?
He will be fine. We're getting our asses kicked tomorrow. I don't want to be hungover for it.
Green tea would be appreciated.
I think the word asses, there's a slight shocked look on this staff member's face, but they're not very well. Tea it is. They go away, they fetch a bottle of wine and a filled glass for you, Caliban, and then 2 cups of tea, 1 green, and 1 what I would call brown tea for Uther. After you guys finish up, like, basically the moment the 3 of you have, like, finished a single glass of whatever you've been given, the summons comes for you. You guys walk deeper than you did last time. You guys met in, like, the dining hall. You go through, like, a couple of security measure levels deeper into this estate fortress vault of artifacts. Eventually winding up in a room that you've not often been in, Caliban. Your father's, like, central office, the study that is at the very heart of this structure. You are shown the door. The door is not opened for you because the staff leave before the door is opened and go behind, like, a second set of doors that is like a firebreak of privacy, shall we say. So at this point, you guys are left in front of a rich wooden door, most likely created with very old magic. It's a degree of, like, fabrication and machining that isn't possible in this day and age, that depicts what seems to be a cliff face with a bunch of figures stood along the cliff face, and then there's the beach at the bottom that goes up, and there's depth to the wood to the point where you can, like, put your hand into this diorama of a moment, and what looks to be a flat decoration is actually tiny little figures. This door is maybe, like, a foot deep, basically, with the door handles being the outermost part of it. What would you like to do?
Caliban, this is your home. If you're gonna dilly-dally, I'm gonna open the door.
Look, it's a lot of pressure, okay?
I feel like there's more.
You've talked to your father
security
before.
last time.
Sort of knocks first.
Your father's voice, muffled through the very thick door, carved inward as it is, says, "You are granted permission to enter."
Oh, we enter.
Large room, very reminiscent of, like, a war room, but there's no big table with a map in the middle. Instead, there is a lectern with a really, really big tome on it. Like the kind of book that would take 2 hands to turn a page. Beyond that is your father's desk, where he is sat. 3 chairs have been arranged. Caliban, you can tell that 1 chair was already here and 2 have recently been added, presumably when the staff told him there were 3 guests. The walls are bookshelves, and the book bindings have been painted to depict the grounds of the estate you're on. So it gives a weird feeling of, like, being in this central room, but being able to look through the walls out onto the property. And actually, as you guys walk into the space, on the painted bindings of the book, you watch a bird fly by and realize this isn't decoration. This is a view of the outside of the property that basically exists upon the book bindings as separate painted, like a divination spell that manifests on the books that are the walls of this place. On the ceiling is like fresco images of angels in battle, and the central candelabra that hangs down is in the depiction of an angel holding a like flail mace-like weapon, and the candelabra itself is the like iron, very brutal looking weapon with the candles and wax running down that, and you can see where sometimes it drips onto the like wooden floors beneath you. Your father, desk very clean, looks up at you, Caliban, and smiles perfectly cordially. Says, I did not expect two guests as well. Please, sit. Welcome to the inner sanctum of the Halig family.
Thank you very much.
As they were involved, I felt it needed to bring them as an entourage of sorts.
As you take your
I
seats...
didn't expect you to avoid this deep, sorry.
As you take your seats, he says, it is no matter. Additional witnesses to the events that have gone on will be, no doubt, illuminating. From what you've just said, Caliban, I am to take it that my brother, for once, is not lying. The blade was purchased at auction.
It was going to be sold, but he unbuckles, and if I assume that there's a desk.
Yeah, absolutely. Big
Oh,
desk
good.
in front of him.
Yeah, a big, massive desk.
Yeah.
He unbuckles Ruin, holds it out, and to just like demonstrate its ability, just like turns it into what was Ruin's like original like
Short sword. It was a short sword when you
okay.
found it.
a matching turning it into a matching short sword.
Oh, sorry. Ruin was a rapier. Sorry, I misunderstood. When you first found it at the auction, it was a short sword. Originally, both weapons were rapiers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm turning it into a rapier to match its
Okay.
other half.
Your father puts his hand out to take the handle of the blade should you permit him to hold it. He doesn't take it from you as you actually probably would have expected, but he waits.
I could flourish it and like present him a part of the handle for him to grab.
He takes it and like holds it up to the candlelight of the chandelier above you guys and watches the like light sheen along it, and he says, pitiful. Truly pitiful. I understand you must have felt shame when you saw this, Caliban.
I felt the same way you did. Pity. There's a livingness to the blade. It was neglected, wasting away within its own confines.
Passable as a weapon, it truly is, but in terms of the truth of the blade has surely been lost.
It can be restored in time, I can assure you that.
I thought the same of my brother, yet both the blade and my kin sit tarnished.
Well, there's one other thing. Does his father know about the whole angel bit that Caliban has now?
You do not know.
I'm gonna use one of my charges to demonstrate.
Your manifest wings?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Insight check on Caliban's father? You most certainly can at this point.
mean, this is pretty much what Dave came here for.
Whoa.
Despite him being terrible at this one.
21 from Uther, natural 20. 10 from
For
Dayfra.
me.
Caliban, I don't know whether you would be 12. Dayfra and Caliban, you both register shock. Uther, you register shock, but not surprise. It is shock at the sense he did not expect for such a thing to manifest in front of him. He's not shocked that his son could do so.
Okay.
So I think Dayfra and Caliban, you get that shock, and you're like, okay, he didn't know. Uther, you're like, you go one level deeper, and you're like, he did. He just didn't expect it to happen right now.
He didn't expect Caliban to be so open with it.
Or just the general, like, imagine, like, throwing a pigeon at someone. If you told them you were gonna do it, they'd still be like, fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Here in my office, really?
We knew you had a pigeon, but why would you throw it at me?
Exactly.
Here's the thing that I feel like Caliban is with his father, Fiodir.
Mhm.
I feel like he's cold, but not like the kind of person that would make any of his relatives more withdrawn because of his coldness.
I think
Like
that's
it's more of
fair.
the upfrontness about himself that does the opposite.
As he looks at you, he says, "A gift from the goddess. Of course it would bless our line eventually. That you would be the first makes only sense to me, Caliban. But you are showing this to me for a reason, I presume. You are not one to simply show off."
Of course. He sort of he gestures for the blade back. And
One
if
second.
he does give it back.
Before he does, he wills the blade to form into a gauntlet, which it does very briefly before glitching out, and in like a weirdly, what we would think of as like a weirdly digital way of glitching, where it like flickers back into the blade and says, "Of course, yours."
And I just hold it out and sort of demonstrate that the angelic power is able to flow back into the sword.
For the first time in a very long time, Caliban, you watch your father laugh. A deep, genuine, happy laughter. The corner of his mouth curled up in a way that almost looks uncomfortable to Dayfra and Uther, like his face isn't supposed to do that. And he says that you would restore the blade of my forsaken brother. You can insight check that if you want, Dayfra.
What I want to insight check is, as far as we know, from I think this was shared with us, we know that Caliban had a sickly childhood. We all have this, or at least Dayfra has this assumption that on Caliban's father's behest, the Azelia Foundation did something to him.
Mm-hmm.
One of which might have been literally pumping the angel energy in that blade into Caliban.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's a hypothesis Dayfra came up with, given that they had the blade and the blade is empty now, and Caliban is full of angelic power.
Makes sense.
So Dayfra would try to look for hints on given that his father was laughing. Dayfra's looking for if that's just ironic laughter of we pumped all this energy into Caliban only for him to now be able to generate it and put it back into the sword.
Absolutely. Insight check.
Okay.
14. It's not... The laughter isn't ironic, but there is a degree this laughter is like the realization of a certain kind of serendipity. Like, things just kind of working out. Let me just double check that I'm using the word right, because now I'm questioning myself. Yeah, things by chance or luck. They take an unexpected good turn, basically. You get the feeling that this laughter is like his dad did something a really long time ago, and it's paying off in ways he didn't expect, is the sort of like laughter that he's having right now. Fjordir looks at you, Caliban, and says, "The blade shall remain with you until it is restored. Then it shall be returned here to the family home." We in agreement, Caliban?
Yes, I was intending the same thing.
Now, why did you not consult me before the auction?
There was a... Bahanir needed to be tricked, and that required a level of discretion. With that in mind, we had duped him with a false... what was the sword that Mistel had again?
Dragonbone.
Yeah.
With a fabricated dragonbone sword. So, only those that were part of the plan were the ones that were kept in the know.
A good focus, my son, but in your dedication to offense, you have neglected the defense of your family. Your mother's name was in those articles. I do not mind things said about me. I cannot stop that. But your mother does not need this.
That is true, and I do apologize for my lack of foresight in the long term.
Your apology is not directed, or should not be directed towards me, but instead, I insist that you go see one of your mother's shows at some point. You are to inform her that you're going, so that she'll give you the VIP box and make sure that all your box is decorated with many flowers, and that she can show off the fact that her son is to arrive at one of her shows. You are to be doted upon, and you are not to fuss.
Oh, woe is me. Such a punishment. And so should it be that the rest of my comrades have been involved in this ruse and this deception, this trick, that they be given the brunt of this punishment alongside me.
They are to be equally punished, yes. Am I to understand that you're... If I'm to trace backwards the string of deceptions you have woven, your engagement to the Lux Maddox girl, is this true and real or not?
It has, it was a, that was also a ruse, and I would like to confirm to you that there is no true affections between us. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a phone call.
That is slightly more problematic for me, but very well, the blade is returned. He looks...
That was a terrible idea also, by the way, so we tried.
He looks to you, Uther and Dafer, and says, the individual that had the blade at auction, it sounds like he returned it without cost.
Consulting my memory, was that what happened?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Dafer nods.
Of your measure of this individual, why would he do such a thing? the price, if he had come to me, that would have been forlaid upon him, the wealth he would have gained, I dare not say.
I mean, okay, consulting my memory banks, we did not interact with that person whatsoever, correct?
You were Sir
Or was
Mance.
that just
It was
Mance?
Mance that gave it back to you. Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to gain favor more than wealth in that instance, is how I understand the situation.
Then, considering his name was only in the article of the Herald, I would surmise that Mance or someone under Mance is the person who leaked it to the main paper. Bahinir, however, either liking the idea of Mance or somehow independently having a useful thought, decided to go to the newspaper himself to talk about this.
This feels like an insight on my behalf.
Yeah. What would you like to try and work
Do I
out?
think Mance would have went to the paper himself about the situation? He seemed pretty keen on keeping it
Yeah, give me an insight check.
low.
A 3, Uther?
Fuck.
He set it up. The only thing you know is he set it up for the room to put it together. A blade was being returned to the Von Helig family, and therefore, what blade must it be? You get the feeling Mance was more like, oh, this rumor's gonna get around, I don't need to push this. So, in your head, Uther, like, it could have been him, or it could have just been someone in that crowd.
I don't necessarily think he would have went to the papers himself, but he definitely set it up that someone was going to go.
Mance's nobility from Trismere, yes?
Yes.
Caliban, are you back?
Yes.
He will look at you and he will say, as the Von Helig household, we have the ability to raise foreign nobility into the ranks of our own. Sir Mance has done our family a great justice. Do you think the Mance family deserves a place amongst the Impresian nobility, as we once did for the Fjordis family?
We're gonna run down on like the particular.
Yeah. So Sir Mance is a knight from Trismere. And basically your father can award him an artifact of the goddess from your collection here in the home. At which point he won't be Mance, he'll be Von Mance. Like, he'll be Presian nobility, and that will give him a lot more power within the city. It will also make the Mance family indebted to your father if they accept.
Thinking back, we had a chat with Mance on what he wanted. I have it in my notes, but I'm currently definitely too slow to read that up in the middle of a conversation.
The only
Do you
things
recall what he
the
specifically wanted?
the only things that survived the mishmash of desires within Mance was to live comfortably and extend his influence.
Right, so this would work in his favor.
Absolutely.
I don't like it gives Caliban's father another power angle, but on the other hand,
I think he'll see.
Mance is technically capable of saying no. but
Yes.
It would probably be a weird look.
I think seeing the debate on your faces, your father will look at you, Caliban, and say, I will give you time to consider this, but no, I will not suffer a gift I'm looking for a word that basically means one-upped. Like,
favor owed.
no. He doesn't want to be equal. he wants to give something of such value that he is...
Can never be repaid.
It can, yes, exactly. He's like, not only will we not be in debt, but it will be the other way around.
Basically, either it's I want him indebted to me or nothing.
Yes. So he says, basically, be it nobility or otherwise, I will think upon a way to repay him. If you think it too risky to our family name to put our weight behind, then you let me know. There is another thing. The article made mention of the Azalea Foundation. What part, if anything, do you think they had to play in all of this?
Looking at Caliban, how deep do you want to go on that one? Is the unspoken...
Oh, Jesus. Caliban's got firearms going off.
Whoops.
I think in this moment, Fjordir is most interested in if the Azalea Foundation had something to do with the sword. He's most interested in whether, like, the sword was held by the Azalea Foundation at any point. He's trying to find out if it was double-crossed, basically. It seems like Caliban is out of commission. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
trying to fish for it.
Gotcha.
Yay or nay.
Unfortunate.
Timing. In 1 second, we'll wait for him to respond in chat and then go from there.
Unfortunate arson occurring in the background.
Okay. So I guess you guys want to tell him that you do think the Azalea Foundation had the sword. Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, the sword may or may not have been under Azalea possession before it's reclaimed.
Okay, they stopped.
Cool.
I'd also like to check whether this news actually surprises him, because by my theory, it shouldn't.
Give me an insight check.
like that
Also
was
insight that.
out
That's
with
it.
the Azalea Foundation.
15.
Seven.
Defer,
Have to roll.
I think what I'll say is, Defer, in this moment, with the information that you believe they had the sword, there is an annoyance, like, that's bad news. Like, so you don't get, like, shock, but at the same time, if he did know, you don't think he'd be reacting the way he is right now in front of you. So it seems like he didn't know, is basically what you're getting on a 15 here, Defer.
Or rather, it is a possibility he considered, and he didn't like that one.
Yes, and now it's being confirmed. Yeah, that's another way of looking at it. He will say, there is not much I can do about that one. Our family and the company have myriad intertwined dealings, and at the end of the day, it was Barnier's stupidity that led to this. However, it is annoying. But I think the reason that we are all in this room right now is to discuss my brother. He is the squeaky wheel on all of this. And it's about time. My kindness has limits. Caliban, how do you feel about your uncle?
I'm trying to collect my thoughts on the matter.
I think he would look at Uther and Dafer and say, your measure of a man would be welcome as well.
I measure him poorly, which is the kindest way I can phrase this.
Far politer than I.
He is at minimum a reputational risk to your family.
Many times over already, yes.
The most I ask myself about this is, it is, to me, not a question that he needs to be dealt with. It's more a question on who deals with him and how.
I would agree.
I'll ask a stupid question, and this is none of my business. This is your family's politics.
Ask away.
Can you promote him, and like full like air quotes when I say that, just does the quotes. Can you promote him out of the way somewhere where he will be less of a thorn? Or has he gone far and beyond over, it's such a shame what happened to him?
I cannot. There are people that do as I say that can. The problem is, he must accept. It cannot be done unto him. However, there are foreign nobles that also owe me a great deal of favors. A marriage offer that might take him out the city is a possibility. It is an unfortunate fate to visit upon someone that I care about, that they be betrothed to Bahinir, but it needn't be a long marriage.
I have read enough in the news. I have read enough in the newspapers to know that there is a decent amount of wheeling and dealing going on between various levels of political players here. Why not take the horse's hand?
Caliban, he looks to you as you speak.
I'm brainstorming an idea right now, and that place with all the caverns, that place that we were dispatched to at one point.
Gold Bell Caves, yeah.
Yeah. What is the Von Halig's outreach towards them? Like, how much does our influence play part in?
You have a good reputation there.
The caverns themselves there have no nobility that preside over them. However, it is a military installation, and our family has a certain amount of pull in that regard, Caliban. Why do you ask? You wish to bury him in a cave? I jest, of
in
course.
a sense. We found a certain existence there.
You are speaking of the Graal. Yes, this piece of paper keeps coming across my desk about them, requests. It would seem that you said that you would take responsibility for their charge, which, Caliban, as you well know, means the Von Haligs will.
How about we give Bahinir what many would assume would be an important job, but would just be a paper tiger under any other circumstance.
Ambassador to the Graal, is that what you're suggesting?
Could you imagine
while I would be fine with such a plan. I'd just point out to you, Caliban, that it was you that saved them, and even as potentially unimportant such a role might be, I believe it would still be possible to for the Graal to take some damage by doing so.
Barnier would need to accept as well, and as important as the role is to your heart, Caliban, it is not prestigious, and that is all your uncle cares of.
Which is why I'm leaning more in favor of. I believe you, Fyodor, have already some positions where you could get him out of the way in mind. It's more a question of how to strong arm him into that.
Assuming that I speak freely and that all those in front of me will not tell the secrets of our family. Yes?
Tell your thing.
I keep my word, yes.
It didn't need to be said for me, but I'll keep my lips sealed.
My 2 avenues that I have opened and that are available are: he may be married abroad, the status of which is high enough and is close to the sea, of which he may find himself lost. That is one avenue I have opened. The other one is my brother has made very seedy connections, wheeling and dealing, as you put it, and there are people that he relies upon that can be paid to mess up. My problem with this is these people's loyalty are as far as their wallets go, which means they can be paid to talk as well. As you may have noticed, both of my methods end in the death of my brother, but I will admit it has soured my heart greatly that he has brought Yvette's name into all of this. Not by choice, but certainly by his action.
Respectfully, sir, I think part of the point of him going forward to the papers at all would be to have his name on people's mind. If he should go missing or have a tragic accident so soon.
That's why
after
the marriage, a few years, maybe, depending on when sentiment shifts. As for the more underworld side of things, yes, I admit that is rash. There is
we are left with
one final course of action that drifted upon me late at night. He gestures to the blade in your hand, Caliban, and says, "By all rights, this is your uncle's. Should perhaps be returned to him. It is an angel's weapon. Death by it is eternal oblivion. A man such as Bahanir, who's to say how well he can handle a blade? There would be no spirit to question. It would be gone forever."
And you would consign your brother to such oblivion, should it be deemed.
I would. He has jeopardized our family's position and everything we've worked for since he was a child, over and over again, and I am done having patience. Never again. Think on it.
Oh well.
Eventually this family will be yours, Caliban. I would like to know what path you would pick here, so that I know that you're not making the mistakes I did.
I would be honored to carry this responsibility when it shall come to me.
Is that everything you have to report to me?
Yes. But it's gonna be very abrupt, but he just like gives his dad a hug. Just like
Oh, yes. It is good to see you again. It has been, 6 months?
I didn't want it to only be business. Father.
Day for Uther. A moment alone with my son.
Naturally.
Thank you. He waits till you leave the room and close the door. Caliban, he looks at you and says, Caliban, you are my only son. I have been proud of you ever since you took your first step. I know you suffered greatly in your youth, but you have always tried your hardest to be exactly what I needed you to be, and you have never failed me. Lately, you have taken actions that I find to be, while not wrong, testing. These Graal, as it was brought up, they are entities of the Scourge, of which we are not to align our name with. Yet I understand your desire to fulfill your noble obligations. You have sought out the blade, of which I am proud that you have found it, and I failed to do so all these years. But in doing so, you cut out our family, and you put your mother in a line of fire. Your false marriage reflects poorly on our family. It is a promise broken. And every single one of these missteps has occurred ever since you've entered into the academy. It is hard for me not to draw a line between you joining there and the actions you have taken that have displeased me. Simply put, is there anything going on in that academy that you have been privy to that I should know about? Your headmistress's reputation, disliked in the city, is well known. I will not be blindsided again, Caliban. Is there anything you wish to tell me before you leave this room?
I'm trying to think. There's nothing really that comes to mind.
Is this a deception check, as you've been asked to be part of a coup?
So this was Fjordir subtly informing Caliban, hey, I'm trying to dig up dirt on...
No. This was Fjordir saying, I feel like you're being manipulated away from the family line. Have they asked you to regard, basically? Caliban, are you attempting to deceive your father in this moment, or do you feel like you're telling the truth when you say no, nothing?
I feel like I'm telling the truth.
Okay. Then I would like a persuasion check.
I chime in there like as a player. I think this is all Caliban's own design, right?
We're outside of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying this as a player, not as a...
Oh, fuck.
12. He looks at you and he says, very well. I want your answer on Bahinir before you leave on this away trip. And I am keeping a close eye on you. I love you, son. And that is why...
You as well.
That is why you must be good. And then he puts his arm around you and hugs you again. He says, proud of you. Proud of you for finding the blade. Restore it. Fix it. Bring it home. Go.
I shall. You have a good rest of your day.
I will do my best. Safe journey back to the academy. You leave the room, Caliban.
Of course.
Dayfur, Usha, Caliban, you're able to exit the estate with no problems. Is there anything you'd like to do on the way back?
We are going to need to get in touch with Caliban's mom to get attend one of the
opera shows? Yeah.
Yes.
You open up your tablet to message your mom. Yeah.
Just give us the time of day. I think we can organize it if you give us enough of a heads up.
You message her right now, Caliban?
Yeah.
You're like, hey mom, I need a ticket to your show for me and my friends, basically. I think a minute later you get a message back saying, Calibunny, is this to make up for what happened in the newspaper? Because if so, who cares? Yes, of course.
Also, I feel, and he said, Caliban types, yes, but I feel like I owe it to you. And also, I feel like I owe it to my classmates so they can see your performance.
Flattery does work. I'll see you soon. I'll see what I can work out. I think at this point you guys are all back at the academy in the evening. Adhira having survived a chat with Vera, Clara having survived discovering DNA, and Uther, Dayfur, and Caliban having survived Caliban's father. For now, as you all are sat in the like shared area, I think Luis would have cooked this evening. He would have made like some sort of like wrap food where you can just go up and put it in it and then wrap it up and you can choose what you want to put in it. And he's like put a big array of stuff down and you guys can just pick at what you want. Is there anything you guys want to talk about, or whether someone wants to share what they found first, or I don't know if Adhira would share everything as well. I don't know.
I think she's stuck. I think she eats in silence. And then once she's done, she thanks Lewis. Goes to her room. What time is it?
That would be early for you, like 8 o'clock, something like that. But yeah, you can.
I'm going to grab the black leather ball and I'm going to go up to the roof.
Okay. So, during the meal, is there anything people want to talk about?
I mean, given Lewis cooked, I'll like a little bit of everything, all the things that I wasn't aware of, and like where there's a special spiff to it, I'd of course ask for the recipe, etc. With the others, so remember the acquaintance that we had when we walked to the auction, that brought us to the auction.
The acquaintance?
Like I give her like a stare, like my eyes blink in Morse code.
Right, okay. Carry on then.
how we feeling about never seeing them again? Like, try to, like, again in Morse code, like, this means death, this means death.
You guys can go to a private space if you prefer, like funnel into Caliban's room or something, or yeah.
Yeah,
I
can't
just
get up from the table.
I am grabbing Dave by like the scruff of his collar and like trying to like lift him out of the chair. No.
Dayford
Okay,
desperately
please-
trying not to get near the kitchen, like not to leave the kitchen buffet, like desperately. No, let's talk about the political assassination here. It's closer to the bar.
Look, I still need recipes! Come on! We haven't done the fucking
Lake
awesome
her.
3 things.
You shift the conversation into a quieter space.
I shake him. If you're going to talk business, you're either going to learn to be subtle or you're not going to do it in public spaces.
Yeah, that was bad. No offense.
Nobody saw my eyes. I actually checked.
Well, I don't think they needed to.
How do you feel about forever
Give me
vacations?
patience. If you give me strength, I am going to hurt someone.
I guess, yeah, who wants to bring up Fjodier's... All of Fjodier's options were assassination, be it delayed or otherwise, basically.
Notably, assassination in a manner that ideally does not leave a soul behind. Actually, one of them did.
What?
That's actually
Only one of them left this man's soul on the realm.
Well, technically...
The other one leaves a soul behind, but the body is not.
Yeah, the body's not accessible, yeah.
Okay, so you know how we've been, haha, we need to do something about Bahanir? Caliban's dad's not adding the haha.
He's looking for permanent solutions. Has a nice array of them too.
Okay, can I just clarify the reason given here?
Making the family look bad for decades?
I believe his father is so not amused by Bahanir's attempts to get back into the family and in a position of power where he can screw things up even further for them, that
What?
he wants to solve that problem permanently.
Okay, can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm about to play Bahanir's advocate for a second here.
That's a rough
Does it-
position.
I know. Does it not concern anyone that we're being consulted on the matter of an actual assassination?
To be fair, Dafer and I actually interjected ourselves into that one, I think.
You did also technically promise not to share that information beyond the walls, which you did immediately do, but that's fine.
That's. I mean,
Okay, look. We're sharing it only amongst the people that were prior involved.
I mean, though Clara and Adhira could have been in that room with you, so I'll give you that.
The potential listener.
Yeah. Also, they need to be. They would likely have been involved in one plan or another sooner or later.
But technically, it is true that he intended only to discuss this business with Caliban.
So, yeah, information you have never received, but going on, moving on. I mean, ultimately, it's like, I guess, a family internal business. I just can't say. No, I don't have anything to say. It's. If I had somebody poking holes into the walls at Shield Wall, we have thrown them overboard a long time ago.
Well, I'm just saying there's a bit of a difference between throwing someone overboard and conspiring to have them murdered in cold blood by a bunch of teenagers.
Out there, the difference is not that much, not that big.
To be fair, we weren't supposed to be the ones to pull the trigger. He was aiming to have that taken care of in other ways, for the most part.
I feel like the semantics here are not the important part.
I guess, as a show of hands among the group, like, who would be okay with him being killed and who would prefer a non-lethal approach? I'm assuming Dafer and Uther would not shrug at his death.
I don't mind.
I technically don't give a shit one way or the other.
Either way, yeah.
It's not my family, it's not my problem.
And Adhira, I don't know how you feel about him, having been a victim of his superpower of pity, I suppose. I don't know whether that affects Adhira's perspective on it or not.
I think if we send him away somewhere, and hopefully marriage will domesticate him.
Adhira, the
The
match.
option comes with throwing him overboard on sea.
Yeah, it's just a delayed assassination, Adhira.
All
I
options
have
are
a stupid
assassination.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Does the city not have some kind of, like, can't they just remove him from the family?
He's out of the family, but the problem is legally out of the family isn't court of public opinion out of the family. That's the problem that Fjordir's having, is that everyone still treats him like it, even though he has none of the benefits. Yeah.
Okay, I was just like, I thought he was just, I don't know, like, it seems like there should be another step here before we jump straight to, removing of the problem permanently.
Basically,
at the same time,
from what you've gathered, Uther, the time to do that was like when he was initially. Yeah, it's the windows past. There isn't much Fjordir can do in that regard. Everything is like Barney has to accept a lot of the like non-lethal proposals, which would mean some sort of like coming to reason or bartering with what Fjordir views as like a slug.
I mean, the one of the non-lethal I don't think Dafer would actually Dafer would throw that out like offhandedly. I mean, a non-lethal approach that I suggested is, I don't know, we find some kind of blackmail material on him to pressure him into one of the bullshit jobs somewhere else.
blackmail
Well, that's
implies
not-
you have shame over something you've done.
It doesn't need to be blackmail. In the sense, like, it doesn't need to be about shame. It could always be about, if this comes out, other people will kill you. Depends. But
And obviously, sorry, I don't know if Adhira, you're against killing him though, from what I understood. Like, you were like, we should marry him off and he should be gone, but you weren't like, and then he'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Then he'll die.
Clara, you're assumedly against killing him.
The thing that I'm struggling to articulate here is
Yeah.
that Clara is not against killing him. She is concerned that no one is wondering why his father, like why Caliban's father is now like, oh yeah, now's a good time.
Yeah.
I
Gotcha.
think it's
Like,
Now-
more
to
Meryl.
me, it reads a bit more power hungry than it does like problem solving. Because I feel
Clara's,
like there are other
you're,
alternatives.
you're sort of seeing what Bahanir put in the article as having some grain of truth in it, basically, that like, yeah, Caliban's dad is holding on to power here, and now he's like, okay, well, this is a threat and it must be killed, basically. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't genuinely think that the issue here is like, oh, these random nonsense is severely hurting our family enough. I think it's just now a convenient excuse now that
Gotcha.
something else has been involved.
That makes sense. So it comes to you, Caliban. My question is, I feel like at the start when you first got in contact with Bahnier, it was with hope that he had changed or might be a family member that you could have a relationship with. In this moment, hearing the opinions of your friends, the decision having been put upon you by your father as to whether or not to kill a family member or not, what is it that Caliban is thinking about that right now? Like, how does he feel about Bahnier?
To me, it feels like he's somebody who made more of the wrong, a lot of wrong decisions down the course of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of decisions that started off early that spiraled to the point of being self-inflicted.
It's fair. I guess in that sense, does Caliban then feel like he still deserves not a second chance, but some form of maybe not even absolution? I'm not sure what I'm trying to articulate
Mercy.
there, but yeah, mercy. Mercy's a good word for it. Do you still feel like Bahnier deserves your family's mercy?
I don't think he would do well within trying to ingratiate himself back into being part of the family.
That's fair.
That being said, if there's some way to bleed to draw blood from a stone, Caliban would at least try to find a way.
Basically, Caliban is, once we've exhausted every possible option to do another way, then and only then will I kill my uncle or have him killed. Okay.
At the very least, he doesn't want to kill him with the angel blade because, like, at least with any of the people, any of the lives that they've taken before, it was they at least got the chance of at least like some semblance of an afterlife.
Yeah. You wouldn't consign him to oblivion like your father would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think... is everyone happy? Like, Caliban, would you articulate that to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Is everyone happy with how Caliban's come to that decision? Does that make sense to you?
I mean, what
Yeah.
are your other options that you wish to try out?
I think in this moment, Caliban, you've got time to think about that, but I think what you feel about it is probably the most important in this moment, which we've got a good answer for.
Okay.
With Bahnier somewhat filed away, is there... Adhira, you're not talking about Vera pointedly, I believe. Clara, do you want to share what you found out about the Helix stuff, or would you wait to kind of codify it, or I don't know how you feel about it all?
I think Clara would probably mention that she has made progress, but not be specific about the nature of that progress until she can articulate it.
Gotcha. Makes sense to me. I think that's all of the big stuff you guys have found out. I don't know. The one thing I'd say is, Dayfer, once you guys have sort of like done your meeting thing and you come out for food, Luis would share with you like most of the ingredients is stuff that you know. It's just been arranged and done in a slightly different way, so it gives you like the various ways he's prepared each of the things you can put in the food. He would also make mention that someone dropped something off in your pigeonhole earlier when you were out at Caliban's, and he points to where the mail comes in.
All right. Thanks for pointing that out to me. Must have overlooked that earlier.
It's all good. You guys seemed pretty distracted when you sat down.
Yeah.
Away mission, huh?
The more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly that. I'm just happy I could give one of my classmates a buff in that regard. I think we'll all need it. It's just...
I've heard about what you guys have been going up to on your missions. If anyone's going to pull this off, it's you and yours. You got this.
If anything's capable of turning this somehow into, I don't know, another great war or something, it would also be us.
Try not to do that.
We've tried every time, and yet it happens.
We're cursed.
Yeah. In that case, give me a second, and make my way to the pigeonhole and grab whatever is in there.
It is a package from Immortus.
Okay.
I do not know whether you would like to open it in your room or where you would like to open it.
I'd open that in my room.
Okay, heading into your room, open it up. Inside is a little see-through container that has some pills that you immediately recognize, Dafer. These are the pills that you guys take here at East Academy. There is also a contract in here. Looking through it, Dafer, it is a contract to allow you permission to investigate something known as the Shell Diffusal Recharge System. And it is essentially, if you sign this, if you are to leak, share, or otherwise talk about the components, processes, or function of this device once inspected, you are to be considered a spy against the city, and that your home settlement will have sent you for the purpose of being a spy, and therefore will be considered an enemy of the city if you are to share any of the information that you discovered on inspection of the device.
Okay.
And then in there is a notice like, you know, these are the pills that are, as you say, they also undergo shell recharge every day. In order to train at the hardest, you're welcome to come and inspect it in person. Please do sign the document attached if you wish to do so. And that's the notification you get.
The pills look pretty much identical.
Yeah,
to the ones
exactly the
taken
same.
in.
Yeah.
So
Cannot
anything
be.
I'm investigating is not gonna be the pills.
Yeah, it has
be a
to.
waste of time.
If it's anything, it has to be this device.
Hi.
But if you
they
sign
were
that
smart.
contract, you can't pick anyone's brains on the subject.
That's fine. I think the only person in question, Clara and you would be potentially decent targets, but I guess either they also have to. Problem for later. I think Defa would end up signing the contract.
Can someone inspect that contract?
To be on the safe side, if with the insights I gain from this shell diffuser research system, I end up constructing anything for myself, I would still be allowed to use that.
I think from what you're discovering, I think you get the impression that that would be fine within this contract, but they might pursue you through other legal avenues. Like, depending on what it was or how close to it was, they might try and get to you another way. But this contract you're signing doesn't forbid that whatsoever. Yeah, the recreation of the vice is technically completely legal according to the document you're signing.
It's less about recreation, more if I discover some kind of
like
that I can somehow mix to, for example, with my rune and turn into, I don't know, balloons.
What the impression you get from the Stafer is they're guarding this so closely that it would be a very it depends situation. Basically, Dayfra, you've got no real way of knowing right now. But the document wouldn't make what you did a problem. They might still come after you some other way for it. They seem to be protecting this.
Use it publicly.
If they don't know about it, they can't be upset about it. Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% correct.
It could be a secret weapon, and nobody needs to know the principle.
You are 100%
unless they know
right.
runes. Okay. Yeah. In that case, I think Dafer would sign the contract. And I think this will require me setting up an appointment so I can observe, which I think I do. How much time do I still have?
Friday tomorrow for combat practice, and then you've got Friday evening that is free, and then Saturday, Sunday is pretty open to you, I think, Dayfer. I don't think you've got any other than the church. So you could go at the weekend.
Yeah, I think the weekend is also what I'd be using for busting some heads.
Oh yes, true.
So
Friday evening is like tomorrow
Friday,
evening.
Friday evening.
Okay. All right. Then you sign the contract and send that back along with a notice that you'd like to come by tomorrow evening, and like immediately get that sent off. Basically, Dayfer, head out and do that now, I guess. Okay. Adhira, you go to your room and grab that black ball. Is there anything that anyone else wants to do that evening in particular, or just chill out? Clara, Uther, Caliban.
I can't think of anything.
Nope, that's cool. Uther as well?
I can think of a couple of things, but like nothing hugely important.
Nothing huge. And Caliban, I guess you're pondering your uncle, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Uther, do you want to quickly tell me what those couple of things are, and then if we can do a roll for it, or just say what it is? And then...
I actually want to try to. I'm trying to think how to word what I want to do.
Okay.
Can I get Clara to do me a favor?
Probably.
Is what I ultimately want to ask.
Depends what the favor is.
I would like you to visit Crescent. Also, give her this, and I'm gonna chuck the little goddess necklace.
Yeah.
At her. Doesn't have to be right now. Doesn't have to be an all-day outing. Just I want another party's opinion.
Opinion about what?
Her mindset.
I'm not entirely sure I'm following.
She is expressing willingness to join the program. I have concerns due to some changes she has been going through, due to the medicine she was given. I want someone else to look at the situation. Fresh eyes. Fresher eyes than mine.
Are you looking for something in particular?
I'm going to say no.
Uther isn't requesting witch eyes at this point. It's just for me to understand.
No.
Okay.
I want like Clara's just like general opinion.
Okay.
Also, she's been doing something. Sometime I caught a glimpse of a flash behind her eye patch. It's something to do with the changes. I haven't dug into what it is, but I'm just going to let you know she's doing something. So, yeah. I don't think she's a problem at the moment. I'm not looking at this as she is a problem. I can't tell how much of her turnaround is a genuine willingness and how much is influenced by having who knows how much divine energy pumped into her at one time. So
How would you feel if she joined the program? Like you. How would you feel?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, yay, we flipped an asset. Yay, that's a headache off of our sides. I worry about. My concern is not her deciding to change and be a good person or not. My concern is how much of that change is actually her and how much of that is influenced either by her concerns over the situation or, as I said, a unfathomable amount of divine energy being pumped into her at once. Like, I'm not saying mind control, but like,
Oh, I understand.
I want this to be something she wants. I don't want this to be coerced in any way, shape, or form. And it's a bad situation either way because she doesn't have good options otherwise. So I don't know. Also, don't say I found the necklace. Just say it was in the lost and found or something. I don't want her to get used to me being a gift giver. It just sounds like I'm trying to bribe her into shit.
Fine, if you want, I'll just give it to her myself. It looks cute. I've already given her some crayons.
Perfect. That's fine.
This is the weirdest co-parenting setup I've ever come across. Can I ask as a DM?
Yeah.
Does Uther care, like, in like an individual emotional level? Does he have any attachment to Crescent whatsoever? Because at times it feels like Uther's very business, as you described it, was an asset flip. But then later down the line, you said, I don't want her to be coerced, I want it to be her choice. And I don't know if that's from a moral standpoint or whether that's from a genuine care for the kid's standpoint.
Uther is like mentally rapidly shuffling between business and like.
I get you.
He is like he is giving him his own self whiplash.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's not like that's coming through perfectly then, because I'm like, does he care? I can't tell. Like, because there's like moments. Okay. Cool.
As a player, I am just going to be like, if that night Crescent had fucked off and just it had continued being like just random encounters and fights, that would have been fine too. Like,
yeah,
Crescent is a fun character to bounce off of.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, especially for
So,
Uther.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's
I get you. Cool.
as an enemy asset, she is a problem. Uther just doesn't like. It goes back to like, okay, she died in our custody.
Yeah.
That's our fuck up. She was revived. Now she is potentially compromised.
Yeah. No,
mentally in
that's
a way
cool.
that she can't even comprehend.
Yeah, I understand. There was something about it that was like, I couldn't quite figure it out, but that's a good answer.
Uther is attempting to maintain like professional, I
you're-
don't give a shit. But
you're
at the same
literally-
time, like,
You're literally like Spy X familying this, right? Like, you're literally like Lloyd Forger with Anya right now. Like, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting, where you're like, it's for the mission.
kind of. I don't know. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's
And I'm not sure, Clara, was that what you were fishing for when you asked how would you feel if she joined? Or were you like, I can't... Was Clara also trying to work that out? Or was it more...
Not as much. She was just trying to figure out why, for lack of a better term, why she was being given this mission.
Yeah. Yeah, what's
She's
the
like, well, why,
motivation?
like, you've been going to do all this stuff. Like, why is it now suddenly my problem?
Gotcha.
Are you worried that your personal opinion on the matter is gonna,
Yeah.
fuck with the results?
Yeah. Okay.
in a way, yes. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like, I want someone else to see if the concerns Uther has
Are only... Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Am I overthinking, or is there something to this? Someone who has encountered Crescent but doesn't, but hasn't. Because I don't know. Like, I don't know if Clara visits her and it just doesn't get mentioned or not.
I'm fine either way. Clara could absolutely pop by every now and again, and I'm fine with that, yeah.
Because
I would say, if anything, it would be like quite infrequent.
Yeah.
I think.
yeah, well, that's part of why.
Not because I don't care about Crescent. I just think Clara would be deeply uncomfortable
Yes.
visiting someone
Who's
is,
imprisoned.
for lack of a better word, under house arrest.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that could be me, but they've let me out because they think I'm worth something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of why Uther would go to you then, because you've encountered Crescent, you know Crescent, so if there's a weirdness to like, if it feels too sudden or too off, I guess.
Cool. Thank you for exploring that with me. It was a question that was niggling at me, and I think that worked out really good talking it out. We will end with Adhera. You are atop the roof. Newly constructed roofing area, the inside of the upper floors of your dormitory still being furbished, but the actual structure, the construction workers at this point have finished. No windows in it or anything like that. But you are slightly higher up than you would have been roughly 3 months ago. In your hand is an artifact. You know it is an artifact because when you hold a magic item, it has a certain feeling. But when you hold this, it is much, much different and much, much older and stranger. You've come up here because you feel trapped. You do not know if you should share what you've learned. What do you want to do?
I would like... What's the word? When you boil in her own frustration.
Stew? Yeah.
Stew. And just fists clenching, unclenching as she goes over to conversation today. She is going to start... She's going to pull back and throw the leather ball hard as I can over to campus.
You watch it disappear into the dark, and before you think it would have hit the ground, but it's gone out of your eyesight, a dog sits next to you with a ball in its mouth with a wide smile that brings you no comfort. It drops the ball beside you, and it says, "You have need of me." You feel Terminus shirk away, suppressed and not in charge.
I wouldn't exactly call it need, but I figure that if this falls under anyone's purview, it will be yours.
A pivotal decision awaits. Yes.
I throw the ball again.
Disappears, just fades away from existence, and then before the ball, immediately does the same thing and drops the ball. Says, out of your system.
A bit, yeah.
Can I help, or is this, I mean, I do love fetching it,
I'm enjoying this. It's ironically brings me some comfort. Get away from everyone, just... a bit harder than cutting off my own arm. Funny that.
Sits down beside you. A dog big enough to, when you sit down beside it, its head is taller than you. It looks out on the campus, and any light catches the teeth, and anyone from a distance would just see the smile floating in the dark. You wouldn't see you, they would just see these teeth. And it says, I like it here. So many decisions being made every day that will impact the course of one's life forevermore. Not only that, you're all very important people. Very strong. With ties to the future that I can feel tugging at every tooth.
You gain any ulterior motive from this? She looks up to him, eyes kind of narrow. Not into politics, are you?
Head turns and looks at you and says, no one is.
The insight that.
Yeah.
I just need to know if I'm being bullshitted by a spirit. 17.
A little bit.
I told her her secret was safe from me, and then she drops that she is the paladin.
What is the weight of a promise? And then, is the weight of a promise broken equal to more or less than the promise you made?
I'll hear her out. I'll hear her out and go from there.
Its eyes go wide like it just took a bump of cocaine and says, a decision has been made. Yes, I get something out of being here.
I figured. As long as it's not the cabin filling with rainwater.
I learned from my experience with you all that my understanding of what people need to overcome to grow is misguided. I have spent my days watching the lessons here, seeing how the teachers teach. I believe I'm beginning to understand how to guide a person, to nurture them. I am here to learn, and yes, the monumentous things that happened here do give me a certain rush.
You're his opposite, aren't you?
You mean your little frog?
Yes. He sees things as they twist and decay and corrupt, as things tend to do. You focus on growth. You weed out weakness, illness.
For me, only the strong pass. For your companion, only the weak become something new. I do not think we are opposites, but we are... My path sits above his. Everything must churn beneath me, and that's where your friend does his work. By the time things get to me, they're already pretty well versed. Besides, your friend has his own shames that he struggles with. Maybe one day he'll pass his own coming-of-age story.
He's 10,000 years old. Don't you think it would have come by now?
He's much older than that. Much, much older. Many of us spirits have been reborn, killed, and brought back. Terminus never has.
Do you know what he did or what happened?
I'm
there. Not asking you to share.
I was there. That is why he cannot face me.
I have a guess.
Ooh.
He fell in love with someone, and they promised each other that they would... Well, no, that doesn't feel right. They were both at the cusp of the war. The other decided to fight, and he didn't.
If love is that which bewitches the soul, then yes, in love he fell.
Is he the spirit that they're making a play on? Did he fall in love with an angel?
Who can say? I know not the inner workings of that spirit's core. And it is true that only we can know what we truly feel about something or someone. Can you throw the ball, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll end the scene there. And we'll end the session there as well. Yeah, closing it up now. Bye-bye.